I would have thought that people humping on screen would have just been way more entertaining. I'm Jackie.
Killer workout? Only if you injure yourself while pelvic thrusting. I'm Justin.
Look who's humping now. I'm Sam, and this is 1985's Perfect on Stinker Madness.
Hello, and welcome to Stinker Madness. This is a podcast about bad movies by bad movie lovers for bad movie lovers. September's for lovers. October's for lovers. Virginia's for lovers.
Virginia is for lovers.
And this is for lovers of movies about humping in air.
West Virginia is for horrible feats of racism.
Also really good at air humpers. I've heard a lot about the West Virginia air humpers.
I'm pretty sure they're doing it wrong.
Okay, all right, but they're trying hard, which is more than I'm doing. I am not trying to air hump at all, so I would say that they're perfect air humpers in comparison to me.
I mean, you did try on the porch in your defense, but then you had to stop because you were like, I think I'm one air hump away from throwing my back out and not being able to do the podcast.
Yeah, right. You got to be pretty limber to be an air humper.
I think, at this stage in my life, I really feel like going to an aerobics class would just kick my ass. I don't think I'd be able to do it. I would be like, wow, this is incredible. But if we go back to when we were in high school and track, remember when the aerobics lady's like, I'm going to kick your guys' butts. And when she was done, she's like dripping sweat, about to fall over. And we were like, thanks, we're going to go exercise now.
Yeah, right.
We actually have to run places. This isn't going to do it for us.
Now, Perfect is the movie we should start out, and it's starring John Travolta and Jaime Lee Curtis from 1985. Very contextual as far as what the 80s looked like. Well, this is what it looked like in this subset of society, but I'm going to go to Jackie here. You have a YMCA membership, and you have been to the exercise facilities within the last 20 years, and I don't think Sam and I can say that. Do they do aerobics today?
They do. Yes, they do. They call them dance aerobics.
Okay. Is it like this?
Yeah.
They still do this?
Yeah, where it's like this with a mixture of like Richard Simmons kind of moves. No, they still do this, but nobody's wearing the lip slip leotards that they have on this movie.
Sure, of course.
Yeah, I mean,
there's
a reason they had to wear tights underneath those things, right? Because there's definitely going to be a vagina hanging out somewhere in one of these gyms if you're not wearing the leotard underneath the leotard.
Sure. Now, and we can discuss the fashion here in a little bit. I want to stick with the aerobics. Does it work?
Does what work?
Does the aerobics work? Does air humping work? Can you get a good workout by just thrusting your junk towards the buttocks that's in front of you?
It's better than nothing as far as exercise, right?
If
you're not doing anything
doing
and you do this instead, you're going to be in better shape.
I drink
and
beer.
You'll be better at humping. If you're not good at humping already, it's better than nothing in hump training. It's better than nothing in exercise. When you get past the aerobics, then you step up to, I think CrossFit is now the fad.
Yeah, yeah, CrossFit's a big deal. It seems like it works, whereas standing and air humping wouldn't necessarily work. Because the only thing you're working out is your pelvis.
Well, they focus a lot on the pelvis, but a lot of this is like moving your arms and stuff, right? And keeping your arms moving and up, which starts to work your shoulders and
gets your heart
your triceps. Yeah. And then, you notice that they kind of squat while they're doing some of those thrustings too, and that's building up your leg muscles. So there are benefits to it, but I'm going to say that if you're like a hardcore, you've been exercising for a while, this is not. You're going to go to one of these classes and it's going to be like you guys in high school where you're going to be like, yeah, that was fun, but not really, doing it for me.
Now I have to go exercise.
Yeah.
If you're a CrossFit person and you go to an aerobics class, it's like eating a cracker before dinner. You're like, okay, well, that kind of got me hungrier for actual exercise, so I'm going to go do it now.
Why didn't they just have sex in the 80s then?
They did. On cocaine.
Yeah, but...
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you're going to work out and it's all about your penis being guided towards the butt that's in front of you, just go fuck. For what? How long is an exercise class? 30 minutes? Just go screw somebody for 30 minutes. Get the same amount
That's an awful long time for screwing.
Yeah, I can't last that long, but I'm not exactly working out.
Maybe if you did aerobics, you could venture beyond the 3 minutes of thunder that you're currently providing.
I'm not currently working out, and I'm also not working out for the person that I'm screwing. Like, no, it's not working out for anybody. Hey-oh! Yeah. So, I just don't get the air humping thing. Like, I think, go play basketball. Go do, like, lift some weights.
No. It's one thing to get hit in the face with a pair of balls during jazzercise, but you don't want to get hit by a ball playing basketball. That's going to fucking hurt and leave a bruise.
Is there couples aerobics? Like, can you do the pelvic thrust together? Like, public sex without penetration?
Hot yoga, right?
Oh, hot yoga.
Oh, yeah, hot yoga. Couples yoga where they're climbing all over each other and shit. Mm-hmm. Which is just, like, the worst thing that you could possibly do together in my mind, because... if you're the person on the bottom of the yoga pile and the only thing that's going to come out of your mouth after the first workout is, wow, you've got to drop 20 pounds.
Yeah.
I cannot fucking lift you, you fat ass.
Yeah. Which, like, again, makes it better than aerobics because couples yoga will make you better at screwing immediately. Yoga is actually really good exercise.
That's where the penis goes? Huh. I had no idea. How would it be to do aerobics with 1985's Jaime Lee Curtis? Where does she fall on the time machine, Sam?
What do you mean?
Like, are you traveling back in time for 1985's Jaime Lee?
No, she breaks a rule of the time machine hit list. I would bang her right now.
There you go. Yeah. Anybody see the new Halloween? Anyone?
Nope.
Didn't that come out like last year?
Yeah, it was last Halloween.
Yeah, I watched it.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. I only saw the trailer. How's Jaime Lee looking?
She looks great.
Yeah, she looks great.
I mean, let's not... I mean, Jaime Lee from 1985, Sam is absolutely right. To Jaime Lee today, the hair color has changed, gentlemen, and that's just about it. Yeah. She looks fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet you those buns are high and tight.
Yeah, because she's been doing aerobics her whole life.
Anybody have any idea how long her mom made it? Like,
no.
When she kicked the butt, she was probably a heavy smoker, so probably not very long. But
who was her mom?
Janet
what are you
Lee?
talking? That generation of Hollywood didn't breathe air. They only would take breaths of cigarettes, and half of them made it to fucking 90.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Betty Davis, she smoked, what was it, 4 cartons a day? Like, you gotta have a plan to do that. You gotta really, you need an assistant to help you smoke. Like, one's getting the next one lit while you're just going zip, zip, zip through cigarettes to smoke that much.
Well, and I don't think she probably went through that many cigarettes, but it's highly doubtful that she smoked the entire cigarette.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I heard. Anyways, yeah, Janet Lee, I don't know how long she made it, but Jaime Lee's got to be, what, mid-70s? She was born in 58. I looked this up. Yeah, so mid-70s. 74 years. Yeah. Sam's,
what is the, that's not good math. Hold on. She's in her 60s, right?
50. Oh, yeah. No, she would be 64. Yeah, you're right.
Because, yeah, she's basically that. When you said 58, I was like, nope, she's not, because she's the same age as my mom.
Yeah. So either way, you're cougar hunting there, buddy.
Yeah. But I mean, I can't. That's a clear and distinct rule of the time machine hit list, is if they're still super high, you can't. It's just a rule I made.
I'm gonna test some time machine hit list lore here. The time machine works in 2 ways. It can go in forward and in back, but in order to go in forward to save the universe by having sex with women, you got to take a chance. Would you take a chance of going 10 years into the future on Jaime Lee to bone down to save the world?
I mean, she's hot enough that I might go 100 years in the future and have sex with her unearthed dead body.
That's not legal. Like, no, I think we're going to get flagged. Like, you just got us canceled.
If we haven't, I mean, that's not the first time I talked about fucking dead bodies, is it?
It can't
No,
be.
it's not.
There's no way, right?
There's no way.
I mean, we've done a fuckload of episodes. There's got to be some weirdness coming up somewhere about that one.
I feel like half of them. Like,
I thought you were going to go with, like, traveling into the future and having sex with her look-alike sex bot that they'll probably, like, by then, right, everybody's going to be dead and copyright infringement's already a little loose with the deep fake videos, they're going to make sex bots out of hot ladies, and Jaime Lee's probably going to be one of them.
I feel like that's going to be a best-selling model if that happens, right?
Yeah.
God, I hope they make a sex bot of Sam Elliott. From Roadhouse days. I mean, I am just... they could do it from him now. I really don't care.
He's actually going to be the robot cook. Looks like we're having beef again. God damn it, this robot sucks.
And I'll be like, that's right, put your beef in me.
What?
Beef, it's what I want for dinner.
And then he takes a shit on your chest. How about that beef?
100 years from now, Sam Elliott rises from the grave and goes, really? Somebody wanted to have sex with me?
Yeah, right? Yeah. It's the prophecy. All right, perfect. Sam, what have you got?
So everybody that worked on this loved this movie, loved working on it. None of them regret it, even though this was like a near career killer for both Travolta and Curtis.
Yeah.
Like, Jaime Lee, JLC, she gets back on track in 88 with A Fish Called Wanda. The stuff in between this and that, not great. 3 years of kind of dead air for her. Travolta doesn't make it back till Look Who's Talking in 89.
God, and should he have come back at all for that one?
That's a comeback?
Fuck you, John Travolta.
I thought his comeback was Pulp Fiction.
No, that was when he was cool again. But Look Who's Talking fucking killed it on the butts in seats and the videos off shelves.
Okay. That's true.
James Bridges, the director, would die shortly after this, like in 89, or let's see, 93 he dies. He only does one movie after this of any consequence, I guess. It's called Bright Lights, Big City, and it's got Michael J. Fox in it, and I've never even heard of it. So this effectively killed James Bridges' career. He had done Midnight Cowboy and Paper Chase, probably most notably before that. Everyone that ever met him loved him. When he died, UCLA gave him a wing of the building, is named after him now. So
how about that?
Because he used to teach there. He did a Deborah Winger movie right before this one, and she apparently was like, I have to have the role. And he was like, no, we're giving it to Jaime Lee Curtis because she's in much better shape than you, even though you're fairly hot, Deborah Winger, nobody's going to buy you as an aerobics instructor. And even though there's like a weird trivia, there is a mile of trivia on this if you want to read about it. This is such a well-known film, and the reason I picked it is because it's got the air humping, I think, is circulating on TikTok right now. So it's somewhat relevant. People loved him and loved being in it, and nobody regrets it. Travolta even was like, I don't regret 1 second of that movie, even though it almost killed my career. Really liked working on it. Thought it was better than it was.
You can kind of tell too, like, that the cast really liked the movie, especially with like the end credits where everybody's dressing up in the aerobic stuff, even though they weren't part of the aerobic scene, like the photographer lady, the boss from the Rolling Stones, and they're getting into it, right? They're having a good time. And I don't think that that's something that you can really fake. Like, nobody goes, yeah, I'm going to get my leotard on. I want to be in the end credits in a leotard and having a good time.
Yeah, you know who plays the boss from the Rolling Stone?
He looks really familiar, but I
He's
don't remember.
He's the boss from the Rolling Stone. That's Jan Wenner, the co-founder of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the boss from the Rolling Stone.
Holy shit, really?
Holy shit.
Because everybody fucking loved James Bridges. He was friends with fucking everybody. Lauren Hutton has a weird fucking ice cream cameo in this thing 3/4 of the way through the movie.
Carly Simon.
Yeah. They actually didn't. This is I think the most interesting piece of trivia in the mile was that this whole thing was shot in LA. Any of the New York stock shots that were obviously stock shots, that's what they are. They didn't film in, it was going to be too much money to fly everybody across and do some location shooting in New York, so it was cheaper to actually rebuild a fake version that was an exact copy of the Rolling Stone office in a soundstage. That happened. They did that for this movie. Mary Lou Henner was with John Travolta in a relationship at this time, I guess, because he meets rest her soul, Kelly Preston.
Yeah, Kelly Preston.
In a movie that he did called The Experts that was right before Look Who's Talking, that was also a huge flop. Mm-hmm. I don't know who Mary Lou Henner is, really. Like, she's in stuff, and she's
wasn't she Burt Reynolds' wife in Evening Shade?
Yeah.
That's where I know her from.
And some other...
I was when I was a kid, I was like, that redhead lady, I think she was my first redhead lady crush. Like,
really?
You know, because you're told that when you're a kid, you know, the gingers, they got the, you know, all the freckles and no soul. And then someday a hot redhead lady, because, you know, I wasn't around for Anne Margaret. And then some hot lady redhead comes on TV and you're like, I think I like redheads.
I think I had somehow got a hold of some Anne Margaret material before that, because she's also not on the Time Machine hit list, because I would unearth her dead body and have sex with it.
Gross!
Justin, just to clarify, once you die, I'm cremating you so that Sam cannot dig up your dead body and have sex with it.
Good call. I mean, I know I'm as hot as Anne Margaret, but thanks, Jackie. You're looking forward instead of okay. So Lauren Hutton, where were we? The Rolling Stones guy. It's weird that he's in this because they don't paint the Rolling Stones in a good light. And I know the Rolling Stone kind of does a good job of doing that on their own, but to put be in a movie and be like, yeah, we kind of suck. That's bold.
I guess they were friends, right? Him and Bridges or something like that. But that was publicly known that it was kind of a shit show to work there, but it was also like, if you can fucking write a story, you can work here. The feuds between him and Hunter S. Thompson were not private. Those were fucking public.
Get, but not like just a shitty place to work, but also like fake fucking news. Because, well, we'll deal with that later. It's a plot point, but the Rolling Stone does not come off looking good here.
No, and it's probably a thing that, like, if you write a piece of crap, he's gonna fucking can it and do something else.
Well, not to mention, right, that you can pretty much take a baseball bat to work, wreck your boss's office, and then they start calling you like, hey, you're still part of this team.
Yeah,
this is big news. We need you to stay here.
We don't have the world
You
postal.
can use the corporate lawyers, and you still have a job here. Like, I'm sorry that we got a little heated there and that you broke some shit in my office. Don't worry, the company paid for it. I'm never going to get my daughter's drawing back, but it was kind of shitty anyway, and it was weird, and I didn't want it up on the wall. So, I mean, really, you did me a favor. When do you come back to work?
Yeah, they hadn't invented the word postal in 1985 yet, so it was.
Hunter S. Thompson had a fucking M60.
True. Yeah.
I probably shot the place up once or twice. The episode of Conan O'Brien where he goes to his house, they get drunk and shoot an M60. That's a military M60 that he has somehow legally. Yeah. So the baseball bat thing's like tame in comparison to real life.
Yeah. No, I don't want to go back to these days. What else you got, Sammy?
Soundtrack, huh? Berlin. That was kind of a hot Berlin song that got used twice. I liked it a lot.
A lot of pop hits here.
So I've got a question. What was the deal with Boy George being thrown in the middle of this movie?
Why not?
Did you find anything on that?
No, it was just that Culture Club was big right then. Wham's on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And it's like a side Wham project called Wham Rap. What? Jermaine and Whitney Houston did a duet. There's a music video. And it really sucks because I want to be at the end of the thing, like, don't watch this, watch this music video with Jermaine Jackson, Jamie Lee Curtis, and John Travolta, but it doesn't capture the the actual aerobicizing that happens in this movie. They redid all of it, and there's a lot less humping in the music video.
Was Jermaine Jackson the stripper's boyfriend?
No.
That tells him not to use the...
No, he's not in the movie.
No, okay.
No, he's not. That's racist, Jackie.
I thought that's who that was. Sorry.
Okay.
That guy looked more like Tito.
Maybe.
I think.
Yeah.
I thought he was some kind of singer. That's the only reason I was asking. That I thought he kind of looked like What's Love Got to Do with It? The guy that they cast for that. And so I thought, well, maybe that's the real Whitney Houston.
That has nothing to do with
Tina Turner guy.
God, Jesus, where are you? Janet Jackson looks more like Freddie Jackson. Sam, keep going. Let's get to this movie.
Lou Reed and the Pointer Sisters also.
Hey, Lou Reed and the Pointer Sisters.
Yeah.
I like the Pointer Sisters. The older I get, the more I like the Pointer Sisters. But keep rolling.
The more older I get, the more I like Berlin. That's
true. Yeah.
And I think that's the most sort of interesting thing about it. Like I said, if you like it, a lot of people like this movie. John Wilson of the Razzie fame, the guy that does the Razzies at his house. This is one of his favorites. And this is a common thing that we have with this program and that whole Razzie mythos, is that we seem to be on opposite ends of the spectrum of what John Wilson likes and what we like are very different things.
Very much so. There was some either winners or nominees for acting Razzies for this, and I am going to go ahead and very much disagree. Not that the acting was good, but it was fairly unnoticeable. To like worst actor, fuck off. John Travolta was nominated for worst actor, and Marilu Henner was nominated for worst actress. And I didn't even hear her deliver a line. I was just looking at those cans. So, worst actress? I don't know. Great cans.
I thought everybody did an admirable job.
I thought everybody was fine.
And it not just that, like the shooting's good, the editing, the pace. It's just
the editing
not
is not good. I'll disagree with you on the editing.
Okay.
Scissors.
Scissors could have been taken to it. But it would have lost some of the completely uncaptivating story that was being told. And I think that's the thing, is it's an uncaptivating story.
There's some very irrelevant things that happen in this movie that we're going to discuss right now. Perfect. Oh, we got to discuss. Also say that it's currently streaming only on Crackle. And we're done with Crackle. We are done with Crackle. I don't care if the only goddamn copy ever of The Day the Clown Died is only available exclusively on Crackle. I'm going to be like, well, I guess I'm dying without watching The Day the Clown Died, because Crackle sucks.
I swear to God, it took an extra 45 fucking minutes to watch this movie. With, like, because it kept losing the internet connection, it kept dropping itself.
You know, it tells you it lost the internet, but that's bullshit. It's like, our internet's down. Us Crackle. Gary, plug it back in. Like, it seems like nobody's running that shit very well.
No, it's weird because you have like 5 other streaming services with ads that used the model that Crackle came up with, that Sony came up with, and immediately did it better. And no one at Sony has gone, hey, let's fucking fix Crackle. We own a huge library of movies. It is a shit show. It's a new rule on the podcast that is like, we won't make somebody pay for something on Vudu or whatever Amazon that they decide to pay for it unless it's absolutely worth it. The new rule is if it's on Crackle, we're not fucking doing it.
They are pulling a Betamax.
The same, and it was the Olive Garden. The Olive Garden commercial happened in every single one of the 11 commercial breaks that were all 6 ads long, and it would freeze for about a minute and a half until the fucking Olive Garden commercial started working. What the fuck?
It does have geo-IP recognition, Sam, because we didn't get the Olive Garden because we don't have Olive Garden in St. Louis because Olive Garden blows ass. We were getting local attorney lawyers because, as we may have discussed on the podcast, attorney advertisements are very big in St. Louis on account of the car crashes and the crime. So we got different ads. I didn't get to see that Olive Garden, but it sounds nice. Free breadsticks. But yeah, it broke all the goddamn time for us. And it's like, dude, seriously, Sony, the fucking Betamax, and what the mini disc. Like, god damn it. You guys are stupid.
It was better formats. With Betamax, that was the broadcast technology up until 2000. So they actually hit it out of the park with Betamax. Yeah, mini disc should have been a bigger thing. It was a better format, but yeah, they fuck up a lot of stuff. Yeah, and they've really fucked up Crackle. The other one that I got a lot of was Shaq General commercials.
Oh, I
which
love
make
the
no
Shaq
sense
General.
to me. Yeah, I feel like there should actually be an internet channel that's just Shaq doing General commercials that is like
Shaq and the General, Thelma and Louise road trips movie. I want to see Shaq and the General. He can't fit in the Corvette. He's too big, but the General can't drive it because he's too short. That's comedy gold. That's why they go off the cliff, not because the cops are chasing them. Okay, perfect. So here we are. We're in Jersey City. At the start of this movie, Travolta is a guy by the name of Adam Lawrence, who we should also preface that at the beginning of this movie, it says based on articles by Rolling Stone. So I don't know how much is, if anything is true, or if it's just like the Rolling Stones does, in air quotes, write articles. So that's what this is based off of, is air quoting writing articles.
Yeah, I mean, they do.
Okay, so
after Hunter S. Thompson, it's Evan Wright.
So I'm going to make an educated guess here. The articles used in this movie: How I Got to Rolling Stone by John Travolta's character.
Okay.
My shitty article that I wrote about Carly Simon and getting splashed in the face.
Okay.
Swim coach has sex with swimmer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also going to say that the 80's health club article was like a real thing.
Maybe
the health club, I can see that happening because they did get Christy Brinkley to do something, and maybe they didn't get Christy Brinkley to do this. We should have looked to see if this was actually a fucking cover of the Rolling Stones, because it's like, that's a pretty decent Rolling Stone cover. It's got Christy Brinkley on it. That's pretty much all you need. Also, Christy Brinkley, don't need the hot tub time machine or the hit list time, whatever. She's hot as balls. Today, I'm also not going to have sex with her dead body, though, because that's gross, but the robot, for sure. So he's an obituary writer. He hates his job. He's like,
so having sex with dead bodies is bad, but inanimate objects is okay?
Totally. Yeah. I put my penis inside of trees and like the couch. Don't you? I mean,
no.
Pretty sure I've had sex with the trash can at least like 20 times.
I'm just
God damn it. That's why we keep going through couches.
Yeah.
I knew that's why we had to keep replacing the couches every couple of years.
Yeah, keep punching holes in them. All right. So he's not happy with his job. He's like, oh my God, if I have to write another obituary, I'm going to die. And then you're going to have to write an obituary about me. And it's going to say, here lies Adam Lawrence. He hated his job. Oh my God. So he's, I don't even see, again with the scissors. Why is that even in the movies? Goddamn Sam. It's irrelevant.
I now completely agree with you with the editing. Because about 22 minutes in, I think I write this down, I guess, I was like, so how the fuck did he get... Because it was unclear that he was just all of a sudden at Rolling Stone and he wasn't doing obits anymore. And why is it even there?
Right.
This thing has it's an hour and 58-minute running time before the credits hit or something like that. That didn't need to be in there.
No, it doesn't. There's more of that coming. So 5 years later, he's now working for the Rolling Stones. He's not, like... really focused on what his writing is about. He's not doing Gonzo or anything like that, but he's all over the place. He's writing. He's got a story about this guy named Sandusky, or McCluskey, or whatever, McCliskey. He's a business guy, and he invented some computers that he was selling to the Russians. And the man came down and said, you can't do that because they're the fucking enemy, and you're going to jail.
We can't do that because we're going to invent the greatest battery that's ever been invented through miracle science in a government-funded project, and then just let China have that technology for free.
Sure. Yeah. Right. All right. So he's working on that. He's trying to get in front of this McCluskey guy and see him, but he's a very private man, and he's not talking to the press, so you can't. That's not happening right now. So instead,
but he's in a meeting with the lawyer.
Right. Right.
Like, very early on in this meeting, he's like, the lawyer's like, I don't even know if he's a lawyer, because he's like, I'm in PR, and PR was the way to go. I used to write newspaper articles, but it got me nowhere. And now look at me. I have 2 balls and some hair.
Yeah.
Don't you wish you could be like me? And he's checking out the aerobics people as they're walking by.
Right.
And the guy's like, I got to take a piss so you can check out the aerobics people.
It's true, though. Like, half of the people that in this town were working in journalism that were good journalists it's that living wage. He said that. He's like, I do PR now because I can have a living wage.
Yeah. So he's not getting that interview, so that's why he's looking at the gym rats. He's like, maybe that's a story over there. I don't hate that, whatever. But then cut to him approving some photos of Mick Jagger, and it's just photos of Mick Jagger sprayed out on a table with dialogue over the top of it that is irrelevant. Cut it.
They had to pay for his image release on that. It's budget.
Cut it.
This thing cost $14 million.
Dumbasses. All right, so then he tells his editor, or I guess the president of fucking goddamn Rolling Stone, apparently, that he wants to cover these LA gym rats falling in love. He's like, I think that I figured it out. They go to LA and they're all beautiful and they all got stacked titties and they skip leg day and they go to these gyms and oh my God, they fall in love. And it seems like that's the new nightclub of America.
Question for you gentlemen. I'm going to burn one right now.
The answer is no.
I have no doubt on your end. But Sam, I'll just direct it towards you because I know Justin is probably, I know. Have you ever went to the gym and gotten hit on?
No. In the only time I ever got picked up in the gym was to play for the lacrosse team. That's what happened. I tried to walk on for basketball. I wasn't good enough. And then I'm in the gym working out, and they're like, they kind of had like a hit list, the athletic department did, on all the guys that tried to walk on to football and walk on to basketball or whatever. And they found me in the gym at school and were like, yeah, you didn't make it, but you got strong and fast, and we can't coach that, so come with us. And there was always like 2 different girls that would work out at the same time that I would work out. But the thing is there was like 10 dudes. And so they kind of had the pick of the litter at that point. And one of them may have been one of the 2 girls that I would work out with for in that time period of 6 months before I got to use the athletic department gym. I would say one of them was very choosy and the other one was not so choosy. She was Sally in this movie.
Okay. I once got picked up in a gym, and then guys used me as the bar to bench press. So I have also been picked up. I didn't get set down nicely. They just dropped me like you do with the bar,
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that. It's just rude gym etiquette.
Yeah, right.
How dare they?
They also didn't wipe down their seats while I was bleeding out. How rude. All right. So then Carly Simon walks in like she just stepped off of a yacht. And anybody? Okay. And she throws...
You're so vain.
She throws Bloody Mary into Adam Lawrence's face. She's like, that story was shit. You said my newest album was not good? I guess? Am I still even making records in 1985? I don't know.
Yeah, well,
She's like, I hope the Tabasco burns your eyes.
He seems fine.
What the? I mean, I love those 2 songs. Nobody does it better, and You're So Vain. Those are great jams. And I think Carly Simon is smart. I've heard her talk. She's smart. She's obviously got pokey nipples because they're in all of her album covers. But dude, 1980. That's about all. I mean, like, what are you doing? What have you done for me lately? Why are you in Rolling Stone at all, Carly Simon? Tossing drinks in people's faces.
Yeah, it doesn't make
Carly
any
Simon's
sense.
Awesome.
Yeah, she is. But that post 1980, she's. What you been up to, Carly?
She looks amazing though in this movie.
Yeah, well,
and she still looks pretty good today. But like, I mean, the only thing that's really changed is that her face has gotten a little thinner with age.
Okay, all right. I just
but she's still like got great hair, still looking good.
Okay, what does this article say, Jackie? That like Carly Simon, her career's no good. Yeah, because she hasn't recorded anything in fucking 6 years. Whoa! Breaking news, Rolling Stones.
Yeah, I caught up with Carly Simon at her house. She hasn't done anything in 6 years, and she was a bitch to me.
The end.
And she's like, yeah, motherfucker. And he's like, you were a bitch to me, and you just dumped a drink on my face. Point proven.
Like, I don't know why this is it. Okay. Anyways, so then he's like, okay, well, I think I'm going to do this gym rat thing. So he goes and interviews this. He goes to L.A. and he finds a club, just a random club, I guess. Maybe it's the biggest. I don't know. It's called like racquetball or something.
No, it's the sports. That's a real thing in LA. They just shot at that place. It was this giant gym. I don't know if it's still there, but whatever they call it, like the sports club or the sports complex, that was a real thing. There's no sets. That was there.
All right.
Okay. So the craziest thing about the, when they're giving him the walkthrough of the gym, right?
Yeah, we get an entire tour of the whole goddamn thing.
Yeah. And all the facilities, everything that they offer. And it's state of the art, right? For a gym back in the 80s. It's state of the art for a gym now. But the thing that drove me fucking nuts was that everybody that's health conscious knows that you do not drink beer. You drink hard alcohol and you drink it straight. It's the lowest calories. You're not drinking beer. And you're not drinking wine because wine is just as bad as beer. You are drinking straight up hard alcohol. Give me a shot, Tony, or give me a 2 fingers of vodka before I drive home.
Tell that to Wade Boggs.
The old Rocky Mountain Fitness Center had the Michelob Ultras. You could have one if you bought 2 bottles of water for proper hydration.
Okay, nice.
So you'd have to 2-for-1 it against that beer.
Why not just get the hat with the beers on it, and then you can still pump iron?
Why even sell it?
Right. Okay. So yeah, we get a tour of the entire club, including Mary Lou Henner's tits. Prominently featured.
She's trying to get him bigger.
Yeah, right.
With her boyfriend
on the butterfly machine.
Question 1 about to be burned. Where are we at on Mary Lou Henner's tits?
They're good.
Well, I'm pretty high. Like, yeah. I mean,
the first time we see him, I think they're in a weird. I think the first time we see him, they're in a weird tank top, and the tank top is lopsided, so it's not really doing much for her. But then throughout the rest of the movie, they're great.
I'm giving him a B-.
Okay.
I'm not in on them.
B- is pretty high. Like,
well, they're fairly sizable. They're just not like.
Yeah, if my kid came home with a B-, I'd be like, "What happened this week?"
Well, here's where I'm at with.
Wouldn't be mad.
Look, I don't want to say anything. Also, did you know that Mary Lou Henner kind of like has superhuman memory?
I did know that. It was on Ripley's Believe It or Not, I believe.
Yeah, she remembers shit from when, like, vividly from when she was, like, 2 years old. It's incredible.
Yeah.
But anyway, I guess I don't have a problem with Mary Lou Henner's tits. They're just being put next to a pair of the best that Hollywood had ever seen.
Touché.
So it's not...
Touché.
It's like, man, that's a really, really nice Miata sitting next to a fucking Lamborghini.
True. Okay. All right. I mean, Miata's a little... That's a little tough.
Corvette, man.
I mean,
it's not. I don't think good. It's 68 Mustang.
Okay. I think the Corvette was a fine analogy. Jackie.
Like I said, I think the tank top did her no favors in that first shot when she's on the butterfly machine. I think it was at a weird angle. It was crumpled. Every lady knows that, if you got your arms like lopsided, right? Like one's higher than the other on the butterfly machine, which did happen in that opening shot. Your boobs are also going to look lopsided. It's just, gravity.
You're giving yourself a couple north or east westers.
Yeah. But I mean, like, and the tank top wasn't flattering. It was a little too big. So it really wasn't folding in over her curves. So it just looks like some nipples hanging out of a sweaty sweatshirt. And it was like, This is not her best moment here in the film. But then later on in the film, her wardrobe does improve and her exercise outfits do improve. And then you get a better look at her goods.
Yeah.
A proper look.
Goods is the right word. We're going to move on. So then he finds Jesse Wilson Jamie Lee Curtis's character. She's she's the Patrick Swayze of instructors. Everybody wants to take her class, and she's teaching it with her butt. She's teaching this class with her ass.
So they refer to her as the Pied Piper of aerobicizing.
Uh-huh.
So the Pied Piper leads children away to be murdered.
True.
What?
She's leading asses away to get slain.
Oh, ayo.
Oh, nice one, Sam.
So Adam asked her for an interview, and she's like, no, I don't do reporters. Fuck off. So he then decides to go to a strip club, where he finds a stripper to interview, Sam, that has nothing to do with the goddamn movie, but it comes back in. It doesn't.
No, it does. She is friends with Mackenzie, the computer guy.
Oh! Who?
That's the actual story he's pursuing. There is Mackenzie.
No,
the aerobics thing is a backup, like, you flew me all the way across the country, so I got a backup story if this doesn't materialize.
What the fuck?
So how does so I think that they mentioned this at the gym, that she is a stripper at X gym. Or no, she's a stripper at X strip club, right?
Uh-huh.
And so does she work out at that gym, and that's how people know that she's related to this guy? Or did he get a tip from somebody? I'm still not sure how he made that connection, because he was at the gym and then he's like, I got to go check it out.
Right.
I thought that was just like an completely independent, the other story. And after he tried to do the courtroom thing where he's like, give me the interview, and they don't, he started tracking down people that knew Mackenzie, and she knew Mackenzie because in the scene where she's talking to him after the strip club, or several scenes later, she says, he bought me this house.
Okay.
She's just friends with Mackenzie.
I think you could cut all this shit out. All of it. It
but
doesn't
then
matter.
you'd have to cut out the whole Mackenzie thing.
No, you
and
don't.
Mackenzie is what he's chasing is a Pulitzer.
This stripper in the plot of the movie does not go anywhere. Check my notes at the end of this and see if she is relevant to actually what happens with Mackenzie. She ain't. Okay, so he goes back to the strip club. Also, my primary story is this Mackenzie computer business. I'll go to the strip club first. Whatever. Fuck off. So he goes back to the strip club because I guess that he was like, I saw her butt and I'm done. Because that's all that happens. He doesn't even talk to her at the strip club. He just watches her get her tits out. And then the next scene is he's back at the strip club and he's like, Jamie Lee Curtis, talk to me. And she's like, I can't because I don't like reporters, but my car's dead. And he's like, I can start that for you. Oh my God.
No, I have a good note here that says that's a shitty tip at a strip club, because he doesn't give her $1 stuffed into her panties. He writes a note that says he wants to talk to her and stuffs that in there or something like that.
Pick up the goddamn phone. Tip. To go to the back room where everybody else does, where the strippers are getting their makeup put on and they don't have their tops on like every other movie, and be like, hey, I'm a reporter for the Rolling Stones.
The bouncer will kick your ass.
I'm a reporter for the Rolling Stones. The bouncer's like, well, I'll show you my tits too then.
No, the bouncer's like, and I'm the king of fucking England. You're about to get your nuts busted.
Abe Froman, the sausage king of Chicago.
I don't read. I break fingers. How many you got?
Oh, my God. Okay. Jackie, is seeing Sam a problem for you?
Yes. I cannot see him at all.
Is his screen black or is it just dark?
Unplug and replug in my webcam.
Because I can see him just fine.
Yeah, all I can see is a dark thing that I know he's there. And at first I could see his facial. Okay, there we go. Because I was going to say, at first I could see his facial expressions, and then it just kept getting darker and darker and darker, and I couldn't see him anymore.
No idea why my webcam does that.
That's a really nice compliment to you, Sam, because that says that Jackie needs to see your face to feed off of you.
When I just did that, and I went from being too dark to now being able to see myself, I'm like, my God, that man's hideous.
Maybe I don't think I'm going to cut any of that. That's hilarious. Okay, so So he jump starts Jamie Lee Curtis's car, and she's like, "Thanks, goodbye." And he's like, "No way, maybe we should go out to dinner." And he's like, she's like,
"No."
But what about lunch?
Okay.
Oh my God, she said yes.
But I'm not going to Subway.
What about prom? What about Sadie's Hawkins? All right, so there he.
Those are all dances that are happening at the sports complex.
Right.
For those people that were too disturbing during their high school years, they relive those moments for their clientele.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. If anybody did the humping at prom, like I think you get kicked out.
Not there. They have a special steam room that's off to the side for that.
No, not actual humping, the air humping. Like if you were to do that at prom, Principal Farmsmith would be like, "Hey, that kid's humping in air. Get him out of here." Right?
I think I could just made $1 million. I'm going to make and rent tuxedos that have it looks like there's a pocket there that you could put stuff in your pockets, but it's just access points.
So pocket pool?
You get the hand jobs.
Yeah. I thought they already had those.
I think that's a great idea.
I thought you did. If you were a cool guy, you do that yourself, and then you're like, "Hey, let's go watch a movie," and then, or no, that's the wiener in the popcorn bucket.
Sure. Taking a box.
Yeah, but Sam, with your idea, you've also got to have like these plastic bags, the ejaculation bags.
Nah.
So rented tux.
Yeah.
See how much semen is on a rented tux?
Yeah. You're
a lot.
A teenage boy. You're pretty much covered in hardened spooge.
Yeah, you're
that's
like
gross.
Yeah.
Dancing close to a girl that's not going to have sex with you, and you know it, but she's really hot and she's not wearing a bra, so you just blow it in the tuxedo anyway.
And you're really lazy, and you don't actually want to do your laundry, so you keep punting and punting and punting on your laundry, and eventually you run out of socks, except for one. And it's that one sock. So you try to get it on.
Pretty sure that one sock needs the laundry attention too.
It needs the most attention, but it's too late. You're late for school. Shit, I gotta wear socks. Oh, come on, get on my foot.
Put it in the oven first, loosen it up.
These towels are kind of scratchy.
Ugh. Walked into a hotel room in La Grande, Oregon during a snowstorm where I had to stay, and we walked in and it was crunchy carpet, and I was like, so 1,000 men just jacked off endlessly in here? What the fuck?
Yeah, honey. Your suit is the least of your crunchy problems. Okay. All right, so they go out on this date, and he charms her with his love of America and Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Oh, fuck him. Fuck you with the Emerson bullshit. Jeez, anybody that pulls out the Emerson card, I'm just like, fuck you.
Yeah, I'm
fuck
with you.
you.
Yeah, fuck off. Steinbeck was our American author, you dickhead. Okay. But then he blows it. She's like, you seem all right. And he's like, well, how about that interview? And she's like, oh, God damn it. I was going to let you bang me.
He's like the guy who just wants sex because he's really open about it. But then he's like, but I really want to get to know you. And then he takes you out. And then after he pays for the meals, like, so what about the sex?
That's not what happened.
No,
that
has happened to me.
She types "wanna fuck" on his word processor.
Yeah, she's pretty randy, Jackie.
Also, did anyone have any idea of what kind of a computer that was? Was that an IBM?
It's not a computer. It's a word processor.
Yeah, what the fuck was that thing? And did that actually have that GUI on it? Because that is something I had never seen. My specific GUI.
My father worked on one of those. I couldn't tell you what the hell it was. This was like 1991. We didn't get our first PC until like 94. He had a word processor that was that word processor and that GUI all the way up into 91. So
I never saw that one.
I'm pretty sure it was. He got it used. I don't think it was the premier word processor in 1991, but it was still that same GUI.
The word processor that I remember wasn't even a word processor. It was worse than that. It was the like error assist version of an electronic typewriter. Like you could write 4 sentences out and then make sure they were right, and then the typewriter would type them then for you once you had checked it. And you would still fuck it up every time.
Very tiny screen that you could not see what you wrote on there. So you had to like scroll back through it and you would miss shit. Yeah, it was, but hey, at least we're not using whiteout, right?
Yeah, we're old enough that we didn't have, our first computer classes weren't we had typewriting, or what are they? Keyboarding. They called it keyboarding.
Yeah. All right. So he then goes back to the stripper and asks her for an interview, and she says something like, "Oh, he seemed like he was really nice." And then her husband comes in. And he's like, "Hey, you can't interview her. This is 1985, and she's not even allowed to have a credit card without her husband's permission. So you get the hell out of here, mister, or I will punch you in the belly someday." Foreshadowing.
A raccoon just walked by my window.
Bitchin'!
Dear God!
Holy shit, dude, it was huge. I look over there, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, they make them big in Illinois, man. They're monsters.
You guys have so much water there that everything gets bigger.
Yeah, hear that, Texas?
Texas doesn't have any fucking water.
Yeah, your armadillos came to us and they got mutant-sized. Everything's bigger down there? Huh? Well, send them our way. We'll show you. I'll wear one of your stupid hats, and just by putting it on my head, I won't be able to walk out of the goddamn door.
Not in these raccoon hats.
My Cadillac, just by parking it into the driveway, turned into a limousine, and it doesn't have just steer horns on the front of it. It's got elephant trunks.
Those are endangered.
Yeah, fuckface.
No,
the
they're
trunk,
trunks.
not the tusk.
They can live without their trunks. It's fine.
The tusk, not the. They can't live without their trunk. That's how they fucking breathe.
Rhinoplasty for elephants are actually. Hey, this is actually very helpful now. I can be on the cover of Cosmo.
Animals should not act like humans if we're going to start doing Primus shit on this show.
Yeah, the elephants were not like, they watched this movie and they're like, oh, so I need some plastic surgery to be perfect.
Yeah. No, they're out there with the leg warmers on now. They're thanking me. They're thanking me for what I've done to their faces. All right. So husband comes in and says no. He goes back to Jesse and he offers to charge batteries. And she says, okay, charge my batteries. And by batteries, I mean my vagina, and put your penis inside of it. And he's like, oh my God, okay. But then the phone rings and he's got to go back to New York.
Does anybody else find it disturbing that Justin has to describe what charge my batteries means? Because maybe he doesn't get it at first.
Only because he's like, did actually
maybe other listeners
literally charge her battery earlier in this movie. Like literally, not figuratively. With jumper cables. He did not use jumper cables on her vagina. I just want to be clear on the way that the old creaky works.
Yeah. So anyway, the stripper has told Mackenzie that she's like, no, this guy really does want to tell your end of it. And so he had gotten to a friend of the guy, and then she's like, do me right now. And he's like, I got 8 minutes to make it to the airport. And he does something that I would not have done. He leaves her wanting more. I would have given her the 3 minutes of thunder, and then when I showed back up in LA, she would have wanted nothing to do with me after that. Right? I'd be like, okay, I'm just gonna throw one in you real quick, and it's probably gonna be good for one person involved here, and then I'll move on to somebody that is not you and disappointed in me.
I'm not taking that chance. Plus, it could be like 8 months before I'm gonna be back. You might be married by then.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing, gentlemen.
She's just fucking
like,
everybody.
Really?
Everybody's fucking everybody in this gym.
Sure.
And, gentlemen, I thought the same thing. I was like, if it was me as Jaime Lee Curtis, I would have been like, really? Yeah, you can't just throw down for 5 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Like 2 minutes, really? Because that's all it's going to take if I bend over and you stick your dick in me, and then, I can rub my clit out and we're good.
Wow, that's a lot of just like, okay.
Ride me, I'll drive your car. It's sort of a ride to the airport situation. Do what you got to do to get done. I've never missed a plane, and I can drive while a woman's screwing me.
You guys keep talking about Jaime Lee Curtis screwing. Blood's starting to get a little thin. Upstairs.
Passing out?
Yep, I'm passing out. Okay. So anyways, he goes back. he gets all the dirt. And this is very relevant to this whole fucking movie. Basically, this is the plot of the movie right here. He hits record on his tape player, and the guy spills his beans like that fucking HBO guy, the real estate developer, where he goes into the back room. He's like, oh my God, I killed everybody. Yeah, I murdered all those people. And then he ends up in jail because he's a fucking idiot. And they got it on camera and then tape. And that's what this guy did.
This is what doesn't make any goddamn sense about this whole fucking story.
This
is that
he's like, doesn't make any goddamn sense.
The guy's like, he spilled the beans. He told me everything. Right. He was participating in Thomas Jefferson's laissez-faire economy, and the U.S. government said, no, you can't sell computers to Czechoslovakia because we think that the Russians are going to get them.
They are the Russians, Sam. This is 1985. Czechoslovakia doesn't even goddamn fucking exist. It's
Yugoslavia,
part of the Soviet Union.
It's like, also like, so we're not selling them. So you have to sell them the computers via the CIA? Is that what's happening?
That's another thing. But yeah, dude, you couldn't fucking sell anything to the Soviet. You couldn't sell them apples. And I don't mean the ones that you fucking listen to shitty music on. I mean the ones you bite into and they're like, I don't really care for apples very much. And you throw it in the trash. You could not sell anything. It was fucking embargoed, bud.
Yeah.
They were our enemies. This guy was brewing up some goddamn fucking treason is what he's working on. But his whole thing is like, oh, the government was spying on me through my electronic devices. I got a fun fact for you. The FISA fucking act went through in 1970 goddamn 8 that said we can do that. And I'm a big fan of FISA. We just went through all this bullshit with fucking Trump and being like, oh, God, they're fucking Devin Nunes, the fucking Obama administration spying on me and shit. No, it's a fucking FISA warrant. It has to be approved by a fucking goddamn judge. This guy is up shit creek.
But we can just give the battery technology that saves the world to China and then not use it here.
Different. Totally something. This guy is a criminal. He's like, oh, they were spying on me. Yeah, dude, if we didn't do that, you fucking idiot. Like, it's a FISA warrant. This whole movie didn't even bother to research its own fucking federal law.
Also, like, when they subpoena him later, they just take the tapes. It's the fucking FBI.
Yeah, we're going to get into that too, Sam, because that's also bullshit. Okay, so the magazine, actually, we're going to get into it right here, because the magazine is like, it's our policy to have the tapes. And fine, that's, corporate policy, whatever. And John Travolta or Adam Lawrence is like, I'm not going to give you the tapes. I promised the guy that I wouldn't do that. And immediately the magazine would have been like, okay, you protect your sources, right? I get that. We'll back off. But the government says they're going to fucking subpoena the tapes.
This is a thing that's happened at Rolling Stone where they were like, fuck off, the government.
Fuck off, the government. Everybody does this all the goddamn, we'll subpoena. Okay, we'll appeal the subpoena and we'll fucking win because there's something called the First Goddamn Amendment. And I know it's been shaky in the last few years, but don't forget that this is 1985. Freedom of the press was a real big deal because we're fighting fucking Russia and they don't have freedom of the fucking press. They have fucking Gorbachev's version of the press. And the fucking Khrushchev and all that shit. The freedom of the press was a pretty big goddamn deal in 1985, and it was a fucking pretty big foundation. I'm running out of breath, and go fuck yourself, government.
Yeah, Khrushchev was a dick. Gorbachev was actually a pretty good guy, according to the history book.
Yeah, no, he fucking put a bunch of fucking people in prison, Sam.
By comparison.
Bunch.
By
comparison, sure.
To Putin?
Yeah, right. Well, yeah. Okay, yeah.
He's sounds like a
fucking
vagina
saint
butthole.
compared to that guy.
Yeah. No, Vladimir, okay. We're moving on. We're not, this is, okay. But yeah,
This is not a democratic or political podcast. Let's get back to the movie here.
I'm just saying that this is fucking horseshit. It's, the whole plot of this movie is both fucking stupid by the government and stupid by Rolling Stone. Like, the whole thing should have been mitigated completely just by lawyers.
Yeah, but if you think about it, the average person probably would have taken the same path that our character did because he doesn't know the law. The company doesn't know the law. The lawyers are just trying to cover the company's ass. They're not interested actually at this point about anything other than covering the magazine's ass.
I don't know.
So to me, it's just a law thing, right? Like, it's the average Joe versus the government.
Sure. But Sam, let me ask you this. When you were 16 years old, and if somebody had said the federal government is about to subpoena you, what would have been your first move at 16?
To make a joke about subpoena sounding like penis.
Then what?
Look up subpoena in the dictionary.
Okay, all right. Touche. I knew to fucking call an attorney.
When I couldn't find it, I'd have to ask my dad how to spell it. And then I'd find it and be like, so what are they going to do? And he'd be like, I don't know. There's a 12 gauge over there. This is Idaho, bud. Choose your own path.
Let's have a standoff.
Which is what happened at Rolling Stone in the 60s and 70s. Is the FBI'd fucking try to crack down, and they'd be like, oh, yeah, Hunter keeps his sources pretty protected. He lives over here. Did I mention he has an M60?
Right. Like, yeah, no. I think that this guy, he's one of the preeminent writers in America based off of what the movie tells us. You know, he's got access to a lot of stuff. I think he's smart enough to say a subpoena that would violate the First Amendment. Maybe I should call an attorney and say, fuck off, government. And also Rolling Stone would have done that first, but Rolling Stone eventually fires him. Blah, blah, blah. We'll get into that later. So anyways.
They never fire him.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, okay. So back in LA, he's now got a tail because the feds are trying to find these goddamn tapes, right? So the CIA or whatever nondescript guy that wears sunglasses.
This is 1985, so the CIA still did not operate other than clandestinely inside of U.S. borders.
NSA then, or DNI?
NSA wasn't really a big deal until 2001.
DNI?
Secret Service was about what you had.
So, yeah, Secret Service could be doing this. All right. So, he's porking Jaime Lee, and I guess that, he goes back because he didn't pork her the first time, so this time he gets to pork her. And he's like, wow, she was talking sexy talk about aerobics. I got to know what the hell she's talking about. So he joins the aerobics class, and then pelvic thrusts for what, like 15 minutes on screen?
Okay, I did this on this. I did the math on this.
Okay.
So this is why we're doing this episode, because this part of it you can kind of see the full form of John Travolta's penis in these cut off sweat shorts. And they are fucking each other through air and through eyeballs.
Right.
The aerobic scene lasts 6.5 minutes.
Oh my God.
A solid 4 minutes is them fucking each other with air and eyes. 4 full minutes of nothing but solid air humping maneuver.
With dirty talk, because she's saying some shit that is dubbed out of the film because the soundtrack's playing over it, but I'm assuming she was saying some nasty shit.
I feel like this is what happened at these aerobics classes back then, and I'm just like, how was it that they didn't just start fucking each other right there? Just turn it into a goddamn orgy, right? How did that not happen? What kind of self-control did these people have? This is the age of cocaine. It should have been an orgy every day. These people have iron will. If they can actually fully go through the exercise routine without just saying free for all and start fucking each other.
Yeah, because there are other dudes in this class that are also flopping their wieners around during the scene. And then I'm going to say this because it's going to sound weird. Okay, so we already talked about the lip slip of ladies in these tight leotards, and maybe it goes up their butt or into their vagina, and
brown
you get
eye.
a lip of the vagina.
Yeah. Hey, there's a little brown eye.
And I said, okay, yeah, it doesn't happen, right? Because they've got the tights underneath the leotard, and that kind of stops that from happening. But the gal that is standing in front of,
Travolta?
Oh my God. Travolta, yeah.
Oh my God.
She doesn't have tights on.
Right.
And I'm like, how are you keeping this shit together?
I don't think she was. Because there's shots where he's looking at Jaime Lee and she's slinging silent dirty talk. And then while it cuts back to him, he's looking back and forth. He looks down, and it's like, like you feel like it's John Travolta just being kid, like, oh, he's shy. He's, he knows what's going on. They're having air sex in public, but he's just being cute. No, he was looking at her butthole, the lady in front of her. Like, he could not stop looking at her naked butthole.
Yeah. No, and
I think you're right.
Comes to a point of Earth where we have to talk about the things that happen on the planet Earth. And you have cads, as they were, if you will. Gentlemen, say rappers or Elon Musk, super billionaires. Sure. Yeah. You start talking about groups of people that have way too much sex. They're all jealous of the male aerobics instructor.
Yeah.
Because that guy has slayed more ass than Elon Musk can imagine.
Yeah, no, I can't think of anybody that has a job that lead to more pipe laying, because like my benchmark is the emergency helicopter guy. It was called Lifelight in Boise, but you know, the emergency helicopter guy. That guy's a badass. They got to fly into some fucking sweet places, or not sweet places, some bad places. Like if you're rescuing Sylvester Stallone on top of the side of a mountain, and like you got to fight all that air current. Your job is to not die. Like, flying a helicopter is hard under the perfect conditions. Flying it when you're saving somebody's life makes you an instant goddamn badass. So you walk into a bar and the lady says, "So what do you do for a living?" You say, "I'm a helicopter pilot for the emergency medical service." Those panties are wet. But if you're a gym instructor, you're like, "Hey, bud, I see your 1 panty an hour wetness, and I multiply it by 40.
6 classes a day, 30 minutes apiece, 45 women. Start doing math."
Yeah, like, no, it's no contest. The guy that flies the chopper is more of a badass, but he's not laying as much pipe as that instructor.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because the women are envisioning that man as like, look at him, thrust his hips, see how much weight that guy can lift. Wow, look at the muscle tone. I mean, Jesus Christ, he could plow me into next Sunday with those hips. I mean, it is going to be rough, violent, and fucking awesome.
They're also like, look at this man air fuck practice.
Yeah.
Do I have the chops to roll with him? Let's find out where I'm at, right?
You mix in some of that namaste bullshit, and like, you know, it seems like you got the piece of the world figured out. Like, I got all this bullshit stress to deal with, you know, taxes and real estate and driving my kids to school and my husband's work schedule. He's probably cheating on me. So you know what?
There's a reason why there's women-only aerobics classes taught by female instructors, because those asses no longer wish to be slain.
Yeah, they're actually there to get shit
They
done.
need a safe place. They were like, we want to try this out. They got to the co-ed gym, and they're like, what a fucking crazy orgy that is. I actually just want to do aerobics. I have to go somewhere else.
All right, now let's get to the other side of this goddamn fucking murder mystery. No, not really. Damn it, I wish it was. Let's do some backstory on Jaime Lee, because she confesses that the reason she doesn't talk to reporters is because the last time she did was a giant mistake. It cost her everything, because she was a goddamn Olympian swimmer who may or may not have boned her coach, but somebody alleged that she did, and so that wiped out her career and his career, and like she wasn't allowed to go to the Olympics.
She was like, all of the ethics in all of the Olympic programs. Softball, we're looking at you. The fucking Irish dancers. How did they? What? Are you kidding me?
What are you talking about?
No. So the Irish dancing,
the Riverdance dudes.
Yeah,
they
have competitions. It's not very big here, but it's big enough here that they are smoking off judges to get better scores and shit. I mean, it is like, no, really? But no, the fucking national soccer team now. It's been tennis, swimming, gymnastics. Like, apparently you can't just have a good female athlete in America without a coach deciding that they need to completely rape the fucking piss out of them.
Well, in gymnastics case, it was the medical doctor.
Right. Well, not all the gymnastics, Jackie. There was some gymnastics at Ohio State. It was not the medical doctor. It was the coach. Looking at you, Jim Jordan. So, but
either way, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that shit. Like,
well, but it was consensual. It was, let's be honest, this was consensual. That's not the same thing as Jerry Sandusky, which I also said Sandusky at the beginning of this, but that was not consensual. She, and alleged, this movie doesn't even tell us if she actually did have sex with her coach.
Oh, but it does, because later she says, after they get in the fight in the hotel room, she's like, it doesn't matter if it was true like it was with me. It still fucking hurts.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, yeah, she did fuck her coach.
But it was consensual. And I know that, what's his name? The coach of the Celtics just got canned temporarily because he had a consensual relationship with an intern, which is still not appropriate. But, dude, this is 1985. It was very appropriate in 1985.
Well, that's why HR now has the thing where they're like, look, if you're going to hook up with a coworker, you need to disclose it. At least with my university that I work for, it's if you're having a relationship with somebody that you work with, you have to disclose it, or you should disclose it. You don't have to.
Yeah.
In order to protect yourself from future lawsuits is what they tell you. So it's just a piece of paper. They file it. There's no questions asked. But you should, in order to clear your ass, and you both have to sign it.
I mean, this is 1985 though, Jackie. This is very pre what's his fucking name on the Supreme Court? Clarence Thomas, sorry. And obviously very pre to Me Too, but you got fired from your swimming job. Joan Crawford's over there being like, I had to swallow a lot of dicks, gentlemen. And then everybody knows it. Like, I don't know if you lose your Olympic swimming team for having sex with your Olympic coach and not even 1985. She tells it was 1978.
Yeah, no, she doesn't.
Well, of course she did. I mean,
she doesn't.
How else was she going to be an Olympian if she didn't have sex with her coach? I mean, this is 1978, right?
Also, I'm going to fucking toss some shade on Carter for doing that. You want to beat him? Go fucking beat him.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 on that shit as well. It was in Moscow, dude. Fuck Moscow. I'm not going. You fucking okay. So
beat them on their own land.
Yeah, Brittany Griner tried to go fucking there, and guess what? Now we have to fucking negotiate. We got to give up a goddamn Ruski.
She broke a fucking international rule. It's like anybody that smokes pot, like you're gonna. Doesn't fucking matter. When it's completely fucking illegal there, don't fucking do it. It's fucking stupid.
10 years. 10 years.
That's their law. Where are you? What are you doing?
My point is,
fucking
don't go to
not
Russia.
Stupid.
Don't go to
Russia.
No, that's what I take away. So I don't know about that. So but
I looked
anyway,
at teaching in China.
She's like, hey, Jimmy Carter, allow me to swim in 1980. He's like, no, we're canceling. We're not going to fucking Russia. And she's like, I want to swim. And
wait, wasn't that also the year that the one team got completely massacred?
No, that was 74. You're talking about Munich.
Okay.
Yeah, Munich is Germany. Yeah. Okay, we're not talking about Munich today, all right? That's
No, I think we should get away from politics and
this movie's political.
It's a Rolling Stone movie. These people have written
time.
The Rock and Roll magazine is our best journalism.
No, it's not.
Evan Wright, Generation Kill, go fuck yourself.
Oh, I like my Playboy articles on the politics. I'll take those.
Those were good too. So the Titty magazine and the Music magazine are our best fucking journalism in the last 50 fucking years.
No, you are an asshole. And I'm sorry, Jackie, I got to do this. You are blowing Rolling Stones right now, and the Rolling Stone is a bullshit fucking rag. Don't forget that they published that article at a fucking, the rape article that turned out to be totally bullshit and damaged, like, set women who were, like, women's, the Me Too back by, like, fucking 10 years because they published a bullshit article without even checking fucking sources. And everybody said, hey, look, this article's bullshit. And everybody that knew this lady was like, she wasn't even fucking there. And they're like, run it, it's good. Fuck
Clear
the
post
Rolling
Evan
Stone.
Wright.
Evan Wright started in what, 2006?
No, before that, because about then.
Yeah. I think
either
this
way,
was right.
He was
look at
before
Hollywood,
that, and he hasn't been there since like Iraq 2 was the end of Evan Wright.
They also fucking they had agreements with certain artists that like especially John Lennon. Their very first episode, they're like, we'll put you in the magazine. We need you to launch this, and so we'll give your latest record a good review. That was the exchange. It's not fucking real, man. Fuck the Rolling Stone. Jackie.
I will say that the Me Too movement, since it was brought up, when I look at Hollywood actresses today and I think about what they probably had to do to get there, I feel really bad for them.
I feel
and
awful.
I think that they deserve every fucking penny that they get paid in royalties and everything. You know, like, I want them to be uber successful at this point. Every single last one of them. Because you know what? They had to sleep with a fucking dirty old man to get there. And it doesn't take it back. It doesn't make it okay. But you know what? I want them to be able to speak, and I want them to be able to find that healing and move on. And I don't want to look at them when I see them on the big screen and think, God, who the fuck did you have to sleep with to get here?
I got one worse for you, honey.
And it hurts my heart.
I got one worse for you. You go back and watch pre-Me Too movies with actresses that who did you fucking have to sleep with? But you also like think about, where did those people go? Like people that were really good and really good looking, and then one day they were not good looking and they disappeared. Even though they were very good at acting, because their asses got a little saggy. God, who was it that I was just fucking reading about? Was told by, it was like fucking somebody really attractive, and is currently really attractive. Not that matters, but it's like, fuck off, Harvey. That said, well, you know, your career's done at 40. Oh, God damn it. And it was like put in a really mean way, like, we're firing you at 40. You're done. You can't. It's somebody really fucking famous. Ah, shit. But also, he told Haley Atwell that she was too fat to work, and that killed her fucking career. And it's like, oh my God.
Too fat to work? Start naming people hotter than Haley Atwell right now.
Like,
are you going to be able to do it? Because I can't think off the top of Jamie Lee Curtis, maybe? No, I don't even know.
Jamie Lee, part of the reason. Goddamn, I'll name her right now, because think about her fucking career. Halloween. She's a good goddamn actress.
Yeah, she's good.
And she did that show with Paul Reiser that was kind of fun. But other than that, like, there is a big black hole between the Trading Places, Jamie Lee's, and of course True Lies. But Jimmy Cam knows what's going on. And then, like,
me
Halloween
too, right there,
H
like,
2.0 or whatever the fuck that was called. Yeah,
the one that Rob Zombie did.
No. The one with the kids. It's like Rob Zombie didn't direct Halloween.
Freaky Friday.
Yeah, okay, all right. That's after Halloween H2O.
And now we'll talk about Lindsay Lohan and a perfect human that was completely destroyed by the system.
Yeah. Fuck. Okay. All right. Yeah, you don't want to make it political,
but it worked
Jackie.
with Nancy Reagan.
Hey-o!
No!
She swallowed a lot of...
I have to preface that was only in jest.
Pull the chrome off a trailer hitch. Now, fuck Nancy Reagan. Fuck her, Sam.
A lot of people apparently did.
Yeah, not because she fucked actually a bunch of people, but Jesus God, she was mean to the fucking LGBT. God, what a bitch. Okay,
her best fucking friend.
What about her best friend? Was
Rock
gay?
Hudson was her best fucking friend.
Oh no shit, yeah,
and
right.
She fucking did that.
Yeah, right. What a bitch. Okay, so now Rachel? We're talking about Friends, right? What the fuck movie are we talking about? So now Jesse wants to go skiing. So they go skiing. Or they don't go skiing. Again, cut it. Because they don't go skiing.
They do. Also,
I don't think they do. He's too sore from doing the pelvic thrusting.
Okay, that's what I wrote down. And so we talk about aerobics and exercise or whatever. A very well-conditioned collegiate athlete will experience soreness from skiing. There is nothing that is more taxing on the human body than a full day of skiing. Skiing soreness is a different level of soreness.
You can know you had those muscles that are now sore.
You can burn 10,000 calories in a day on the slopes if you make it the long day.
My parents would not let me go skiing on my school field trip when I was in the 5th grade because Sonny Bono crashed into a tree.
Very taxing on the body.
Yeah, so my mom was like, nope, you are not going on a school field trip to go skiing. And it was like $30 to send me at the time. I mean, it was fucking cheap. And that included like ski rentals and lessons and the whole 9 yards. And we weren't even in the area, so we were going to have to bus over from the next town. And my parents were so paranoid that I was going to die in a skiing accident that they would not let me go.
Yeah, it sucks,
But then when my little brother, when his class got up for it, you know, enough time had passed by.
Right.
And so they were like, oh, yeah, you can go skiing. So he was a skier.
Everybody forgot about Sonny.
Yeah. But then at the time, it was like, no. Oh, hell no, you are not going. You're going to crash into a tree and die.
Look, 5th grader, a very drunk congressman went skiing and crashed into a tree. I could see you on the same trajectory in life. You're going to go up there, you're going to drink a bunch of hot toddies and put in some infrastructure and probably slap Cher around. I don't know. It's the jury's still out on that, I think. Don't go skiing.
How much was the buy-in on our ski trips that we had annually to Brundage?
Oh,
it was like fucking $8 or $10 like or something like that.
Yeah, it was cheap.
It was $8. Yeah. So Mountain Town, Idaho, they're just like once a year, they're like, yeah, Brundage is going to let us in for $8 a head. Yeah. You guys in? We'd all go. It was fucking great.
Yeah. If eagle-eared listeners of the podcast will remember that on those ski trips, that's where my hands got too cold.
Only thing that can warm those up is getting under that bra for the first time.
Come here, Jaime Lee. All right. So he's too sore, and she's like, well, let's go skiing, and I'll give you that goddamn interview finally. And he's like, well, oh my God, I didn't even have to put any pressure on you. Like, I didn't even ask. Let's go skiing, and you can ask me whatever you want. So the tail's still on him also. He's up there. But he's too sore, and so they're coming back. And she's telling him about the swim coach guy, and she's like, what's that? Is that a tape recorder? Is it on? And he's like, well, oh my God, of course it is. And so she throws his ass out.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say that I blame her because he already knows that this is a very personal thing for her, and it has nothing to do with his current story. Why is he fucking recording it?
Because... Again, like, there has to be some sort of level of, like, I'm an adult person and I know how things work. I was an Olympian. I have been interviewed by a magazine before. When I say, let's go skiing and you can ask me whatever you want, I now know that I am on the goddamn record.
I am fucking a guy that works for Rolling Stone. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The loosest cannons of them all.
Yeah. I mean, there's a level of self-accountability that, ignorance is not an excuse in terms of the law.
This comes back later when she's like, you're going to hurt people's feelings. And I'm like, but she just said out loud a thing that I'm going to, so we're going to get there eventually.
Oh boy, that comes back like a fucking, like the bell tower bells swinging and hitting you in the ear while you're fighting Batman. All right, so he gets kicked out. He gets a ride back to the hotel. And now we're getting to Jackie's thing. There's people there that think Boy George is at the hotel, and so they're having a big Boy George convention where, like, again, a pair of scissors, they had to, either this was really happening or they had to put all those people in Boy George makeup, because at like 5 points, I'm like, wait, is that Boy George is there? No, that's Boy George. No, the guy next to him is Boy George.
But then when they get in their fight in a hotel room and he chases her out after she reads. So he's taking a call. They have the sex. He's taken the call that he gets from his somebody.
I'm not even sure who he's talking to. You're jumping way ahead, but is this Boy George relevant?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then she runs out half naked. He's chasing her out. He comes back in. He gets sucker punched by the stripper who knew Nabowski's.
Okay, man, don't say the
stripper
entire
husband.
That we have to...
Whoa, you're like skipping over your own words in your mind.
Get to the Boy George
Calm
point.
down.
But what I'm getting at is, in that shot where he gets punched in the courtyard, Boy George is sitting there having breakfast.
Are you sure it was Boy George?
30 Boy George impersonators in the hotel at all times right now.
Yeah, but this is the next day.
There was like
actual
8 Boy Georges in that scene.
I don't know if Boy George appears
a Boy
in this film.
George or a Boy George impersonator is in that scene, and he's having breakfast, and he looks at him like, "Oh my God, you just got punched."
I will say
I have to raise a point of different concern.
Okay.
In this sequence, he's wearing jeans and a bathrobe up top. And that to me raises a flag of, if you have time for denim, you have time for a shirt.
No, I wear that all the time, Sam. Okay, so thanks a lot.
Well then, sir, if you have time for denim, you can make a better decision upstairs.
No, the bathrobe is the perfect decision at all times.
Well, but are you wearing a shirt under the bathrobe?
If I want.
You're going to put on fucking jeans and then put a bathrobe on? You've done that?
What am I up to?
Are you fucking serious?
I mean,
Canada is going to come find you and dump you in the ocean.
Let them try. Okay, so thanks again for skipping super ahead, Jackie, but you skipped over a ton of shit that we got to talk about. His room was searched. He turns around while he's on the phone. He's like, oh, yeah, there's this Boy George thing going on. Oh, my room was searched because there's a drawer open. That's the only shot of, like, fucking Spielberg's like, look, I know how to toss a goddamn room. You cut to this shit, there's a drawer opening, you're like, oh, my room was searched. They're looking for the tapes. Oh, fuck off.
Also,
but his computer hasn't been touched.
Right.
One of the loosest cannons of all loose cannons. Paranoia is your best friend.
Hey, there you go.
You noticed before you got into the hotel, when you were getting out of the cab, you're like, my spider sense is tingling. Something's not right here.
Right. No, you left that drawer open, dipshit.
Totally situationally unaware for a guy that should be shrouded in paranoia.
You don't remember getting drunk last night and looking for the Bible, which drawer the Bible is in? You left that drawer open, dipshit. All right, so he calls Linda, who is the most used equipment in the gym.
Yeah. I thought she was pretty. Where are we at on her? Also, we're gonna talk about who this is, because this is an important person.
I think, honestly,
Linda the character or Linda the actress?
Lorraine Newman is the actress. I didn't even mention her in the boring bullshit, which I should have, because Lorraine Newman is Connie Conehead, right? I mean, that's an original Saturday Night Live cast member.
That's true.
And really, from a character standpoint, she's just like any lady in her early 20s. She's looking for love. Mm-hmm. She's doing all of the wrong moves. Mm-hmm. She's horny. Mm-hmm. She wants to get it on. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. And then she gets a reputation, and then she leans into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's talk about Lorraine Newman being pretty, because she's closer to 40 than she is to 20 in this movie.
Okay. Thought she had a great can. That's it. I don't want to,
Also, the internet has Paul Newman as her brother, and they are completely not related.
My God.
Like, how fucking bad are you, the internet, right now?
Nice. No, I'm with Jackie. Like, she does lean into it, and we're going to get into why that's a problem later for this movie. But there's no, as far as, she's very open and honest. He doesn't con her into divulging her details as, her idiom. She's like, this is who I am and this is what I'm doing. Like it or fucking fuck off. I bang a lot of dudes. What?
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
If you want all the dicks in you, fucking go do it.
But don't forget that this is 1985 America. But she doesn't care. Her character doesn't give a shit about America in 1985. She is cool with how many dudes she bangs. And that's even better than America being cool with it.
And this is a problem, and I will get to this at the very end, the ideas of journalism and what's good reporting and bad reporting, and how maybe later Jaime Lee Curtis, you're going to hurt people's feelings. She is straight up right at this point going to him, if you make me the point of this article, I'm going to give you everything. I'm spilling my guts. I'm going to show you me as a person because I would like it written about me. I've led a mediocre life. I used to go to bars and fuck people for no reason, and now I'm at a gym fucking people to feel pretty, and I feel like I'm a good person, and I don't think that's a problem. And he's like, okay, I'll write that article.
Yeah, right. Totally, completely. All right, so so that's what happens. She takes him to Chippendales, where one of the other gym guys is a stripper, and we're only going to talk about that because he also his whole Chippendales stripping activity is the pelvic thrusting like he does at the gym.
It's a man in a jockstrap air humping.
Yeah, air humping
for about, let me see what the notes say. We got 4 minutes, 28 seconds of a man in a jockstrap. And this is probably why John Wilson likes this movie so much, because the two humping sequences are so goddamn cringeworthy. Like, I actually couldn't take my eyes off of it. And it's a man with his ass showing. And I want really nothing to do with that visually, but it was so completely ridiculous. Like, if this is a Chippendales show, why would you go to this? This is what you want to see? A guy in a jockstrap?
Well, and you know, the thing is that his nastiest that he gets in his show is with his girlfriend, who is a plant.
Right.
And then he's just, I mean, I've never been to a Chippendales show, but I have been to some male strippers that come to the house, and you know, they do that shit. They jump up on your chair and they try to hump your face, and you're like, get the fuck off of me, here's $1. And maybe that was just
you're
me.
Paying them to go away.
I wasn't prepared, and the first time that the guy like fucking got close to me, I was like, just take it, here's a $5, get the fuck out. And he was like, you're not into it? I'm like, no, just, you smell weird, get off of me. Right? It's weird. You smell like baby oil and cheap cologne, and just fuck off, right? And then after that, I was like, oh my God, I like cigarettes and booze so much more. So I just got up and left after he finally got the fuck out of my way.
Good call. I would do the same.
It was weird. And then everybody invited this guy to go out drinking with us downtown.
What?
No!
And then he was like, I don't understand why you didn't like my act. And I was like, it's not that I didn't like your act. It was just, I'm not like used to it. I was uncomfortable.
Not used to it.
You know, the thing is that you, as an entertainer, should have picked up on the fact that I am not down with this and maybe toned it down a bit for me. Maybe you shouldn't wear so much baby oil where I was afraid that you were going to slip off the chair and kill yourself.
Jackie, I'm going to go ahead and let you know.
There was so much about it that I did not like.
You did not have a virginal stripper experience. Sam and I are quite experienced with the strippers and being forced into stripper situations. That is the feeling we have after 40 goddamn stripper events. You didn't have some weird experience where I'm not really familiar. No, that's just the stripper experience. Yeah. Nobody likes them.
No. Well, a lot of people do.
No, nobody likes those strippers. They think that they're going to fuck those strippers. They don't actually like the experience of stripping. Like, it's stupid. Those people think that they're actually going to have sex with those strippers.
Sam, you go.
I don't like paying top dollar to not have sex. And so, like, when I'm not participating in the stripper event, it's because I'm like, I'm going to go chase some tail after this, all right? Well, now, at this age of 43 and to have a life partner, it's much better. But it's stupid. They're like, oh, yeah, well, the stripper's super hot. I'm like, no, it's not. I'm not going to fucking pay somebody to not fuck me. I'm not going to pay somebody to fuck me. I'm just going to go find somebody that wants to fuck me. And we're going to have a nice time. We're going to have drinks. We're going to fuck each other. It's going to be fucking great. This is stupid.
And I agree with Sam, because the first time I ever went into an actual ladies strip club, right, where the men were there and the ladies were doing their thing, and I was super fucking hot. This is right before I met my husband, Justin. And
wait, me?
Yeah. And I went in for the first time because I was giving somebody a ride home. And they were too drunk. I'd just gotten out of class, and I was like, because I took night classes for my master's. And I was like, yeah, I'll come and get you. You know, I'll have a drink and I'll come and get you. And it was a friend of mine. And I showed up, and the stripper was sitting there in her strip outfit, right after she had stripped, because it's a non-nudie thing in Idaho. And I walked in, and she immediately went to the back, got clothes on, and came back and sat next to me. And we had a very delightful conversation, but it was like, I intimidated strippers at that point. And I was like, God damn it. This fucking sucks. Like, you don't even have the fucking self-confidence to sit next to me.
No,
and I'm not that great.
They're strippers. They don't have self-confidence at all, Jackie. All right.
I mean, but you see those.
Let's move on.
You see those movies where ladies have, you know, there's some stripper show out right now. I can't remember what it's called. But they are empowered strippers that they know their trade. They have some tricks. They are doing it, and they're making fucking bank, and they know exactly what they're fucking doing. I have
if the same thing's happening.
Respect for those ladies.
See if the same thing's happening in East St. Louis at a strip club called Cheeks. I don't think they have self-confidence, Jackie. I think you're getting a little reality TV show in, because I've been by the strip clubs in East St. Louis on the way to the junkyard, and those women do not have self-confidence. They are desperate women.
No, at bachelor parties, they'll work on you if you're not paying like everybody else is, and you're just like, go away, right? There was a stripper that was like, everybody else is in, what do I need to get you in? And I was like, buy me dinner and fuck me. And she looked at me right after she whispered that into my ear, and I whispered that back into her ear, and she maybe became a better performer, because what Jackie's talking about, like with the person that's very good at this, they never bothered with me. They saw the look in my eye, and they moved along.
Okay. All right. Top stripper tips on Stinker Madness. Let's get rolling on the movie. He goes through all this. We covered what Linda says about her own life and her idiom. So he goes back to his hotel room. Jesse comes in. He's like, "Hey, I'm not going to use you in my article." And she's like, "Oh, that's really cool of you. Thank you." But he brings the photog in. The photog takes a bunch of pictures of wieners and butts. And it's everybody spreading their stuff to be in Rolling Stone.
Fun comedic character actress Anne DeSalvo.
Okay.
She's fun.
And I guess they're fucking again, Jesse and Adam. And she finds his notes that he's been writing this entire goddamn time while he's been in LA. And she's like, wait, I know how to work a fucking word processor. So she goes in and reads this article, and it's all about Linda, what she told him. None of it is about Jesse. And she's like, you son of a bitch. How can you tear her life apart?
She's so worried about her personal concerns that she hasn't worried about the concerns of others that are around her.
Of people that have nothing to do with her goddamn ass. Jackie.
I agree. Like, up to this point, she has shown no relationship with these two ladies.
None.
They're at the same gym, yeah, and they know some of the same people, but she wasn't, Jamie Lee Curtis's character was not at the party where she says, I'm going to go find a gangbang because you won't sleep with me. There's no like real relationship at this point between those two ladies and her. So why the fuck should she care?
I'll do you one better. Jesse doesn't interact with anybody else in the movie except for Adam and other instructors. She never interacts with a student ever in this movie. And now she's so concerned about somebody who she's never met in the entire existence of this film that she's like, I'm going to burn you down, Adam. How dare you fuck with somebody's life who just do I have no idea anything about? By your actions, Jesse, you're fucking with that person's life because she wants to be in Rolling Stone, you bitch. Jackie.
But he did interact with somebody in Jamie Lee Curtis's life. The mother who tried to feed him divinity, which is fucking gross.
It looked like Rice Krispie treats, and apparently it killed her father.
Yeah, right?
No, it is this gooey. My grandma used to make it all the time. It's like this white gooey. It's like eating sperm with some dried up fruit in it. It's gross.
What's the thing that Mr. Tumnus gives
Turkish Delight?
Turkish Delight. Turkish Delight tastes better than divinity, and Turkish Delight is one of the grossest things on the planet.
I like Rice Krispies treats better than Turkish Delight, to be honest. I don't eat either one of them.
Well, duh.
Well, then Divinity's better, but it's not Divinity. It's a fucking
is not Rice
Krispie
Krispies.
treat.
You thought it was Rice Krispies. It's not.
No, it's just this gooey white mess.
Yeah,
I think it's actually white chocolate on pretzels in a ball.
It's not.
It's gross.
It's not that.
You're trying to church up Divinity without knowing what it is. Divinity is like, it's Viper goo. Like, you drink a can of Viper. As a bum, and you become goo.
And if you
that's what you're drinking, disintegrated homeless people when you eat Divinity, Sam.
For those of you not familiar with Viper, see our Street Trash episode.
Yeah,
or watch the delightful film Street Trash if you can find it. I don't think that's streaming anymore.
Divinity is ex-bum.
That she says out loud, "Oh, you're not going to make a pass at me?" And he's like, "Journalistic integrity."
Right.
And she goes, "Cool. I'm going to go find and manufacture a gangbang on me because I enjoy that as a person."
Yep.
And he doesn't bat an eye.
Nope.
And she doesn't bat an eye because it's like...
And the dudes that she goes and starts stroking their penis at the party also don't bat an eye.
And
nobody
probably
fucking
suck
cares.
each other's dicks and don't bat an eye because it's fucking fine if you want to fucking do that.
A shit, and she comes in and is like, "How dare you ruin Linda's life? I'm deleting your article." Also, you didn't actually delete his article. You just hit backspace, and he comes out and he's like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" And she stands up. You got to hit save. There was no autosave on anything before like 2010. You have to hit save. His article's still there.
It's still there, and he has a backup of everything. Right. He's got 5 5.25 with that shit on it, right?
You moron.
It's so stupid. And it also misses a mark in, this is another note that I had that I didn't want to leave behind, is that they had a weird conversation. This is where I'm like, the writing and the story's not really here on this one. She says, well, she prayed to God for tits. Mm-hmm. Linda did, right? Linda was like, I prayed to God for tits, and I got them. And Sally prayed to God and didn't get tits.
No, and got those backwards, but that's okay.
Well, it doesn't fucking matter which one of them's which one of them. But the
Mary Lou Henner's tits.
Mary Lou Henner has tits. Lorraine Newman actually has some pretty attractive tits, from what I noticed. It's like, you don't need them bigger, honey. Those are really good looking tits.
Okay.
Anyway, she's like, I'm going to go to a plastic surgeon. And then she's like talking about remaking her face. And I was like, I thought you were just talking about praying for tits a little while ago.
Yeah. Hey,
because like that's the thing that LA has in volume at this time is fake tits.
I'll do you one better. Did you read his writing? Because Jackie and I did. Because you basically have to read the entire article via the word processor. He is not a good writer.
No, it's like 4th grade writing. Yeah.
And it's typo central, gentlemen.
As
a person who edits documents, it is typo central, and it's like, what the fuck? This is never going to pass editing.
All he did.
And it was like, and then she said. Right. And then I witnessed, and then she said.
It is just a regurgitation of a conversation. That is the entire article. And then she went and did this, and then he said this. You are not a writer. You are a fucking stenographer, butthole.
I am going to go one further and say those who made this film were like, well, people can't read on screen. Yeah, they might be able to read a book, but the screen thing makes it hard.
Right.
So they made sentences on screen in the word processor program that was so hard to understand or comprehend with human mind that were like subject, predicate, subject, predicate. And they're like, this is how someone from Rolling Stone writes. This is just like what Hunter S. Thompson used to do. Whoa. Violation of my intelligence.
All right, so she erases that whole thing and runs out. She's like, screw you. You're going to destroy her life. And so he rewrites it as she told him to rewrite it, because why she respected him is because he fucking goddamn Ralph Waldo Emerson'd her.
No! This is stupid!
Now he's going to write a Ralph Waldo Emerson article about what America actually is with your leg war. The leg warmers are a metaphor for the Constitution, is the article that he wrote.
He just gets fucking drunk. Let's not church this Hector. I mean, he gets fucking drunk and just writes random bullshit, because when they are reading it back at home office,
right,
there is not a comprehensible thought in whatever they're reading. It was like, and then the clouds came out and the boobs started to show on their horizon. And then Wolf Waldo Emerson says, you should clean your toilet 3 times a day. And then boobs. And I mean, it was just nonsense.
And that bald eagle's got a great rack. That bald I mean, it's got its little wing up and it's saluting the troops, and I'm staring at those eagle tits, and that's America.
That's just an eagle, but those are human tits, so I'm gonna jack off.
That's his article.
Those bellons.
That's his article. And she like, this is, he does this for her, not for his career, because he actually had a good subject. Linda is a great subject, and she's more American than anything. Like, she's a microcosm of America in 1985. I'm just trying to live my life, and part of it is banging everybody. Fuck off. Let me bang everybody. And he
in the
walks
pursuit
away from
of perfection.
He walks
in the pursuit of perfection for a lady. She wants plastic surgery. She wants to work out. She is trying to be what America is telling her she should be. And that is what she is striving for. She is striving for perfection.
The decade of excess. She is it. And he's like, well, I'm going to write this crap about eagles with tits because I love Jesse.
But at the center point of her story that she wants to be told is how imperfect she is, and how every man that she wants to fuck her will fucking do it, and she has command of her entire situation.
That's not her job.
And at the center point of John Travolta and Jamie Lee Curtis's fucking problem is the truth. Right. And the only point, if it's Sally or Linda or whatever the fuck her name is, she's like, all we have to get to is the truth. And the truth of the matter is, this is my life. I like it. And I would like my story told. And that doesn't get to fucking happen.
It doesn't, because of Jesse. And Adam. Because he's like, I don't have any journalistic integrity. I'll write about fucking eagles with tits. Rather than an actual good article that defines the entire goddamn decade. Jackie.
Exactly. And like, when the article finally comes out after the rewrite, and you can see.
No, you don't just get to go straight past what Rolling Stones does. No. No. He rewrites this fluff piece, sends it in. The guy, the fucking chief of Rolling Stones, like, this sucks. But we've already paid Christy Brinkley on the cover. We gotta run something else. You, Joe from the fucking mailroom, you rewrite this article and put Adam Lawrence's name on it.
Yeah, which I believe is something that may or may not have happened at Rolling Stone. There's a lot of this that is the transgressions of journalism by two friends that made a movie, but I can't, and I'm not. This would be a deep dive that I didn't do for the program because I'm a man who has a job. There were times that Hunter's work was edited or pilfered in a way that he didn't particularly appreciate, and offices may have had bullet holes in them. I can't speak to the absolute truth of any of that, but I know that feathers were ruffled and integrity was put in question. Sure. And this is a time that it is made where he is becoming just his own author. And this is kind of a sorry, Hunter.
Okay.
I'm sorry, this movie...
I don't know if that's... Yeah, I mean, we need to get away from the Hunter S. Thompson. They had other fucking writers at Rolling Stones that were fucking really...
Evan Wright.
Lester fucking Baines.
Start naming...
Lester Baines wrote
too.
for Cream.
Can you name any?
He wrote for Cream. The other guy... I'm blanking. I just listened to a whole podcast about Rolling Stones. I was like, that guy fucking wrote for them. Dennis, he just had a book out. God, somebody right now is kicking me in the balls on the internet for being a dipshit. Anyway, my point is that's fine. Editing, journalistic licensing, as it were, Sam, by the editor is something. They don't use his article. It goes into the trash, and they rewrite an entire fucking article and then put his name on it. He didn't write a word of that article. I don't think that's legal because fucking Steve Bannon could then just say, I interviewed, this is an article by Joe Biden. It's called Joe Biden is a Douchebag, where he confesses to crimes against humanity. Like, you can't just do that. It's illegal.
This actually happens in the movie where he calls the editor directly periodically, and they are very friendly because he's like, you know how to edit my work and make it good. And I love that you keep my voice and you keep the things I'm trying to say.
But that doesn't happen.
No, she's like, yeah, I didn't even work on this. Upstairs, fuck jobbed you because guess what? You fuck jobbed us.
Right. Yeah.
I'm your friend. You're my friend.
Everybody
but I didn't work on this, and neither did you fuck job because you fuck job this.
Okay, so the issue goes out, and Jesse sees it. He calls Jesse, and he's like, hey, did you read the article? And she's like, no. Or, yeah, I did. You're a piece of shit. You're a fucking sphincter muscle, which is redundant because the sphincter is a muscle. And he's like, wait, what happened? Oh, my God, I got to go. I can't be in Morocco. I got to fly back to the United States. So he flies back. He goes to this aerobics benefit where everybody seems to be doing just fine after their fucking life being ruined. Jesse.
So he flies back to Morocco, from Morocco to California on the Rolling Stones dime.
Sure.
On his personal desires. And he's going to do something later, and we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, and everybody's like, we're still doing aerobics, and our lives are just fine, except for everything that you said was going to happen didn't happen, actually, Jesse. But he finds Jesse, and she's teaching aerobics just like she was fucking doing before. Now that the secret about her banging her fucking ocean or swim coach is out. Whatever, Jesse, you're full of shit. And he's like, hey, I didn't even write that article. Oh, my God. And then they have a Scooby-Doo chase around the entire fucking benefit. The feds are chasing after him, and he's going through doors, and there's a damn guy going boo, 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 boo. And she's running out of stuff. I mean, it's, oh, God. Yeah, I don't know if it was supposed to be funny, but I was like, fuck off with your Scooby-Doo chase.
It doesn't fucking work out because the
Linda
people
and Sally see him during the Scooby-Doo chase and say they're going to kill him.
Yeah. And then the, one guy's like, he called me an airhead. What does that mean?
Whoa.
And then his wife doesn't go, don't worry about it, sweetie. That man tried to tell the truth. No, he didn't. He fucked it up.
Yeah. Oh, God. Nobody's life has been ruined. Just if the original article had come out, everybody's life would actually be pretty good. Jesse, you screwed everything up. And so did he. So he heads back to Rolling Stone. He gets the baseball bat and he's like, oh my God, I can't work here anymore. I'm going to fuck this shit up and go postal. So he beats up no, he doesn't beat up. He just bashes up the office with the baseball bat. And the guy says, you can't work here anymore. You're fired. You can't quit. And he's like, fine. And so he leaves. And then as he's leaving, the FBI is like, here's a subpoena for those tapes. Remember that?
And he's like, I'll be arrested. And they're like, no, this is a search warrant from the FBI.
No, they
you
know
can argue later if you wish, and do a very good job doing so if you have the right lawyers, that this will be legally inadmissible.
No. I'm gonna outlaw you here. They don't need a search warrant. They know he's got the tapes. A search warrant is to find evidence they already know he's got. You can subpoena that. Churn over the evidence. You don't need to search for it. They know that he's got it. They can subpoena, but all he has to do again is call an attorney and say, I would like to appeal that subpoena. And that's going to be overturned because that's a First Amendment fucking violation.
Well, then this works perfectly in the movie because he knows the law and he says, I got a book deal on the line because that had been a thing. He's got a book deal on the line and he's about to do 30 days in the can in support of his book deal.
Yeah, no, that's just good PR. Okay, yeah. So the FBI finds him. The phone's ringing off the hook about these tapes. Everybody wants to talk to him. He's on TV. Jessie sees it, and she's like, tear, because now he's got journalistic integrity because he won't turn over the tapes, even though nothing has changed as far as her. All right, so she sees him on TV. Now he's on the witness stand for the trial for Mackenzie. Like, I don't think you can be subpoenaed. Give us those tapes. Now, we're also going to convict you of not giving us the tapes during a different trial. Like, you have your own trial for contempt of Congress. That he's now in contempt of Congress. The judge is like, contempt of Congress. Or not contempt of court.
They're making this, him not turning over the tapes, the only legal dispute they can make it.
Right,
is that,
during a different trial.
It doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense. He would have his own entire court proceeding that is irrelevant to the Mackenzie trial or whatever this guy's name is. And also, like, you can't, he then goes to prison for contempt. You don't go to prison for contempt. I don't know if anybody's
conviction to a specific prison.
Hey, Sam, how do you get convicted in America?
You got to go to jail first after you get arrested. Then you go through some trials, and then eventually you'll be convicted.
A jury of your goddamn peers.
Prison that is specific to your violation your conviction.
A jury of your peers. It is in the goddamn Constitution. The judge just can't say, this man to prison. Ha ha ha.
Well, he sent him someplace worse. Epstein didn't make it out.
Hey-o.
Hey-o.
Yeah. This is California, so I'm guessing he went to San Quentin.
This is supposed to be New York, but yeah.
No.
If you went to the LA fish tank, it's probably better than the place that Epstein ended up.
It's not, because he works in New York, but Jackie said the same thing. We were like, where is he? And in that trial, the judge says, by the state of California, at the very beginning of it, didn't they, Jackie?
Yeah. So, and we also see him get off the plane with the lawyers that we had seen earlier in the film, who are from Rolling Stone magazine. So he is definitely being flown back to California for the trial.
Right. Yeah.
Which again reinforces Justin's point of bad editing.
Real bad. Yeah. Irrelevant. All right. So Jessie she chases after him. She was there at the trial, his trial, which isn't his trial. It's Mackenzie's trial. She's like, oh, there's my boyfriend. I should save him, because he's still... whatever. Like, all he's done since he last saw her is say, I'm not going to turn over the tapes. And she's like, I love him about something he's never even talked about with me. But it's too late. He's taken away. They take him to prison. She gets in her BMW and she chases after it. She gets to the gate and he's like, Adam. And he turns back and he sees her and he's like, she loves me. All right, I can make it. Meanwhile, Mackenzie is ruled not guilty. Wait, what?
He's not guilty.
Because he didn't... the movie is telling us that because Adam Lawrence didn't churn over the tapes, he's found not guilty, even though they found... Like, the whole movie is they're spying on him by hacking into his computer and finding evidence that he was selling fucking PCs to the goddamn Ruskies.
No, that's the thing. The tapes being turned over would have made this whole movie move along faster because the case would have been dropped. he sold the computers to an intermediary that sold them to the Czech Republic, which was Czechoslovakia at that point. He actually has no fingerprint on the whole thing. He would have been innocent had those tapes been turned over before, and they would have convicted someone else. Whether that person could be connected to him or not, or maybe that connection is the thing that he's like, oh, if we do it like this, the court won't be able to find me guilty of this, but he didn't sell directly, so he is therefore innocent.
So the only thing that could save him was the tapes where he explains it all to a guy, but he can't go on the witness stand and explain it all. And also, if he didn't explain it all and the only thing that could save him is the tapes, why is he found not guilty? That doesn't line up.
Because everything was inadmissible. If the gloves don't fit, you must acquit.
Not inadmissible. That's a fucking dismissal. Not a not guilty.
I don't know. There wasn't enough evidence.
I think the government provided enough evidence when they hacked his computer and found fucking receipts selling to Czechoslovakia.
This is the same court that couldn't fucking get OJ guilty. Let's be real.
Touche. California.
Agreed.
Yeah. No shit, huh? All right. So he's not guilty, and the subpoena then is now moot. So he gets Adam gets to leave prison, and Jaime Lee's sitting there waiting, and they hop in her Beamer, and it's over.
How long does he spend in the jail cell in that, or in the prison?
About 30
because
days.
He is at a prison.
That's what I was saying.
How long
he's
is he
in
there?
the can for about 30 days.
That's what I think.
Ew, gross.
Not by
He
law,
probably has crotch on
Those
like
30
somebody's
days
business.
probably sold 100,000 more books.
Yeah, right.
But he hasn't written the book yet.
Especially when it's 30 days and he's innocent and you got to be a part of that. You're on USA Today. Those books are flying off the shelves. Mm-hmm. New York Times bestseller.
Do you think he gets an interview with Oprah?
Oh, of course. Book club.
No, in 1984, Oprah was doing acting still.
Oh, that's true.
He's on Phil Donahue.
He's on Phil, yeah.
Jerry Springer?
Phil was a big deal, man.
Not quite as exciting. You get a car, and you get a car. That's my Phil Donahue
Phil was
impression.
not exciting because every once in a while he'd be like, you get some real journalism.
Right, yeah. All right.
But mostly it was just fluff on daytime.
Questions! Jackie, go first.
So, even though he doesn't write the fake article, and then he shows that he's not going to turn on the mob boss or whoever the fuck that guy was.
He's not a mob boss. He's just a guy.
Who's just a guy. So, why the fuck does she run to his defense all of a sudden?
Why?
I don't get it.
In her world, where she yells at him and says that you are ruining Linda's life just like you ruined, like that other reporter ruined mine, nothing has changed that actually ruined Linda's life. Everything she said is false, but she's like, because you didn't turn over the tapes and I saw that on TV, that means that I love you.
Not to mention that the whole thing that she was trying to get away from was the affair with her swim coach, which got republished.
Right.
So what the fuck is going on?
At no point is proof delivered to her that Adam didn't write that article.
Sally or Linda or whoever should have said to Jesse, I was about to be the Earth's queen of fucking. Published, and you fucked that up for me.
Yeah, we could have had a real fucking movement, and you blew it. And now you're like, I love him for reasons I hate him.
But I was trying to save you, and she was like, save me from what? Being the Earth's queen of fucking?
Being me and what I want to do.
I want to do.
You dumb. See you next Tuesday.
You stupid idiot.
Yeah. Jackie.
So then my next question is that we see Jamie Lee Curtis's character outside of the courtroom with Jan Werner,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The boss of the Rolling Stones, and he's telling her something. What the fuck is he telling her that makes her run after the car?
Probably that Adam didn't write that. I guess I missed that. I didn't see that scene.
I know what he's telling her. He's like, hey, we're actually going to be marinating some meats and making our own ice cream at my house later. Would you like to do that? And she was like, let fucking Lauren Hutton and Carly Simon do that bullshit. I'm fucking out.
I gotta go destroy some lives. All right, Sam, what's your question?
What was he doing in Morocco?
What was he doing in Morocco?
You may have noticed that I've been on my phone several times during this podcast figuring out what exactly he was doing in Morocco in 1984.
I think Jackie'd like to take a stab at a guess first, though.
Yeah. I'm going to say he was looking for rugs, pottery.
That's Afghan. Down to poverty.
Shut up. This could be Moroccan rugs, pottery, beads. And maybe a little bit of the booze and the poo-tang.
Yeah. As Bob Hope
they have that in Morocco?
As Bob Hope sang.
Why not?
We're on the road to Morocco. We really like to get along, or something like that, with him and Danny Kaye. It's a great song. If you never heard it, check it out.
He was covering the bread uprising, hunger crisis in Morocco in 1984.
There you go. Yep.
And he said, no, poon is more important than the one thing that Rolling Stone has lived on.
Yeah.
Which means he was fucking fired.
Yeah.
Because he was like, yeah, so you smashed my desk with a baseball bat? You're kind of a pussy. Hunter came in and shot this up with an M60. I mean, fuck, what are you doing? You left the job.
Yeah.
You're fucking done.
Yeah, you're done.
That's the fucking job.
Nice pickup on that.
Well, and his boss was going to fly out to meet him. So it was kind of like, what the fuck are you doing?
What the fuck are you doing? This is how we make our money. The book deals later. You nailed one with this computer scandal. You got to get down there to the hunger crisis.
Screwed up the second one.
Boots on the ground.
Screwed up the third one. Yeah. No, this guy sucks at journalism.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I mean, if he would have stayed in Morocco, did his job, and did what he needed to do, he could have written the book about the computer guy and then gone back and kissed the gym instructor's ass. But, you know, really, at that point, you're writing for Rolling Stone. Do you really need to kiss somebody's ass? No, you just need to find the next one that can do the fucking splits.
She's slightly choosy about who she fucks in a room full of people who fuck everybody. He'll be fine.
Oh, God, no. He's got fucking herpes in a week.
They all have herpes.
Yeah, I mean, look, her, it's Jaime Lee, right? She's got a great body and all, but it's not worth it, bud. It's not worth it. You got 3 slam dunks right there for your, the Rolling Stones. You blew it.
So before I get into the point of all of this and kind of how this movie got made, but so where does he end up? After this,
the fucking New York Times, of course,
writing the fucking obits where he fucking started because he's a fucking idiot.
Yep, I agree.
Oh
man. All right, so yeah,
but for the Rolling Stones.
No, he's back at he's at the fucking Post.
The Rolling Stones obit sanctuary.
He's at the New York Post writing obits, where he's like, I gotta glam this obit up because it's the fucking Post.
Oh,
well, which is weird because at the first part of the movie, when he's first doing the obits, he's like, "What did they die of?" And they were like, "I'm not gonna tell you that." I'm like,
I can't
let's
write
be
the
fucking
obituary
honest.
Unless I know what they died of. That's not a thing.
Exactly.
No, they would say that.
In
all
reality,
it'll be embarrassing. And he's like, seriously, this is an obituary. If they didn't die of shitting in their own mouth, it's not going to be embarrassing.
They did the what's that called? The slacker jacker, where you tie the belt around your neck and you jack off. It's the old choker, the choker stroker.
Many fine men have gone that way.
But let's be realistic. I mean, when you read an obit, what is the thing you're reading it for? It's not they were preceded by. No, you're looking for how they fucking died.
No.
And then when the goddamn funeral is, if you knew them.
No.
That's what I'm looking for.
I'm with
how
Jackie.
You died and when the fucking funeral
I don't read
is.
the obits.
How do you
what
die?
What kind of morbid fucks are you guys? We
I
gotta
don't
move
know.
on
I want
from
to
the
find out
obituary.
if he died jacking up upside down in a bus.
You're a bunch of weirdos. Hey, Sam, Ben Fong Torres was the guy's name I was looking for the Rolling Stones. And also Lester Bangs did write for the Rolling Stones.
Lester Banks.
Yeah.
Good call.
So, my question is...
I just read the books of Evan Wright and Horace Thompson.
Great.
So,
my question is, why? Why does this movie exist?
That's my answer to where I was building up to all of this, is that why would Jan Werner and James Bridges do this movie? They wanted to make a statement about what's wrong with journalism, and it was sort of short-sighted, because at this point, I don't think Jan was completely full with his wits on where the business was all the way. They hadn't done Rock and Roll Hall of Fame yet. Bridges was an up-and-coming filmmaker. He was only 40-something when this was made. But they wanted to pinpoint what was wrong with journalism, and in this movie, they themselves identified it accidentally with, "You're not telling the truth." They were like, well, these dick-swinging blowhards just do whatever they want. And that's not the fucking problem. Have a dick-swinging blowhard or a tit-swinging blowhard or the most vacuous vagina ever do whatever she chooses to do to find the truth. But the truth is the thing that you were trying to find. Not a sale, not a book deal on the side. The truth.
Okay.
And in their effort, because this is one of the trivia points that I saved for this, was that the writers wanted to find everything was wrong with journalism and then have everything that was right with journalism put in the film. And we found what they missed. What was right about journalism is the goddamn truth. And had he written the fucking truth, nobody would have been pissed and this wouldn't have even been a movie.
True, but at the same time, like, I maybe you're right, but still, I don't understand. Jackie, go ahead.
Well, I understand where Sam is coming from, but on the same token, Jamie Lee Curtis's character didn't want the truth out there because it hurt her and her coach's relationship. It hurt his marriage, it hurt his career. And so she wanted to hide the truth. So even though as a journalist, we do tell the truth and we do put it out there, we hurt people. And is that also maybe a side point to this movie?
But her truth that hurt her so many years ago is now the truth that will set her free from this coach being remarried, all of the allegations being gone, them being two consenting adults, because she was an Olympian at that point and over 18, that she thought that the truth was the thing that was hurting her, but the truth was what would have set her free.
Oh, there it is. Here's some cliches coming at you, podcasters. Yeah, he didn't remarry. He was still married to his first wife. They just started cleaning it up.
She's like, you like biting a 19-year-old? So let's get it on the Olympian program. Let's do that. That's
gross.
What happened.
You're gross.
That's what happened.
You're disgusting.
That's what happened.
You're disgusting. I never want to see your face again. You disgusting.
I didn't do it. The fucking Olympic team did it.
Disgusting. You're absolutely...
The government.
I look into your face now. Before I was like, hey, that's a pretty good looking guy. Now I look at it
no,
and I'm
you
like,
don't. You're like, what's that gargoyle with a mustache doing?
You disgusting, awful, terrible, grody man.
Yeah, you're more upset now than when I was talking about fucking dead bodies.
Sam is a little bit of the look of, if you don't give me the DDO ranch, I'll saw y'all in half. And then he grabbed it. Oh no, he grabbed me. He tied her up. Oh no, he's tied me up. And then he put her on the railroad tracks. Oh no, he put me on the railroad tracks. And then along came Jones. Okay, if you're not a Ray Stevens fan, you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about right now.
Yeah, okay.
But he is twirling his
all
mustache.
Dead. They're all dead now, Jackie.
He is twirling his mustache like in Rocky and Bullwinkle. Yeah, I mean, the dastardly dude. And he has a top hat.
Dastardly dick.
Yeah. All right, final recommendations, guys. Starting with Jackie.
I'm going to give it a do.
Wow!
I mean, wow! Really?
I knew this was going to happen.
It wasn't very exciting, but
you hated this movie 2 hours ago.
And then I took a nap after the movie, and Justin woke me up way too early, and I started to kind of get teary-eyed, like, I just want to sleep. Leave me the fuck alone. But then I drank some alcohol, and I started making this podcast, and I was like, it was a pretty good movie.
Oh, my God.
And, the characters, they really gave it their all, and...
Gave it their all.
That's where I'm at. I have been drinking, yes.
Okay,
but I liked it. Overall, it wasn't fucking terrible.
I don't think you did.
It was a lot of... I kind of wanted to go upstairs and try some of the sex things that were in the original article that John Travolta wrote about Sally and her friend to Justin, just to see if I could do the leg spreader over Justin and make it sexy. But then I was thinking about it and I'm like, there is no way to make that sexy. I mean, nobody's riding this gal like an exercise machine because it's just not sexy.
I don't know. Take a shower, both of you, and then see if it works out.
Okay. I don't think you did like this movie. Also, I don't think it was I don't think Roger Ebert drank 5 Bloody Marys and then reviewed movies. 2 hours ago, you were like, I hated that movie. So take Jackie's word with a grain of fucking salt. I'm going to go next and say, I think that this was a awful goddamn movie. It's fucking incredibly stupid. And we blew it as podcasters because if we had known just a little bit more detail about this movie, we wouldn't be doing this movie in October. We would have been doing it next month in nonsensical November because this movie is as much nonsense as fucking Dreamcatcher and the fucking penis phallic symbol, not the Bees movie. The Wicker Man. This movie is non-goddamn sense. It doesn't make a lick of fucking sense. So... yeah, but don't. Because it sucks. It's really stupid. Good scissors, bring it down to an hour and a half. I probably would have given it a do. Sam.
So where are we at then on John Wilson?
He's wrong.
This is included in the 100 most enjoyable bad movies.
That's not a real thing, and it's all wrong. That guy is wrong.
No, it's a real thing. And it's a real recommendation that a lot of people take, and I take that into consideration when I look at this picture and I go, wow, a career killer. What does a career killer look like? It looks like this. My problem is that I watched it on Crackle. And it made it so much more painful than it needed to fucking be.
That's true.
So, my recommendation is, if this is only available on Crackle, don't fucking do it. But, if John Wilson says this is one of his favorites, you get a disc of it, you can actually go through this in 2 hours.
Why is John Wilson suddenly the fucking hero of Stinker Madness?
Because he's not the hero of Stinker Madness. He has his own fucking thing. We have our own fucking thing.
Yeah, don't.
And
it's a don't.
We should recognize the other people that do this fucking thing that we do.
No! I mean, you recognize them, say, hey, thanks for liking Stinkers, but dude, you're wrong. Yeah, he's wrong.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's 2 hours long.
Yeah.
It was 190 If it was 90 minutes, maybe.
Nothing happens.
Nothing fucking happens. And Jaime Lee gets her tit out once just to like keep us on board.
Mostly covered by a shirt, like, so it's not worth the price of that.
Pop a titty out. How'd you like that? And I'm like, I do. Thank you. And she did it of her own free will. It wasn't like the cameraman or the director was like, hey, pop a titty out. She just kind of like looked directly at the camera and popped a titty out. And you're like, oh, nice. Hey, thanks.
Thank you.
I guess Jackie, you know about how good this movie is.
Check. It's your pick next week. What are we doing?
So I was thinking Rock of Ages because it was a musical and kind of awesome.
All right, Rock of Ages next week. Thank you for listening. Get to the chopper.